All right. You did something.
Yeah.
And as we often say in this show, the hardest part of any job is doing what your boss wants, and you didn't do it.
Correct.
They have elected to cover your ass and not say what you did. But Sean McVay is not in the business of benching people for no reason. To turn around and throw Sean McVay under the bus is stupid. I think Sean is smart enough where he's going to look the other way on it and just play him because Cam Akers is the best running back.
Yep.
But shut up. You did something.
So
you really want Cam Akers. You really want us to believe that Sean McVay, whose whole act has been to fall on the sword for players since he got here.
True.
When players act like idiots, when they fumble inside, Cam Akers, fumble inside the red zone on more than one occasion, Sean McVay astoundingly takes the blame.
I need to do a better job.
I could have put him in a better situation.
Exactly.
Coach, what are you talking about? He just dropped the ball. No, it was on me. You think he, in a year where his team has a losing record, decided to bench you for no reason? Really? That's what you're going with? Shut up. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you can play. But we've been around Sean McVay for 5 years, and we know he's not making it up. You did something. They've been nice enough not to tell us what it was. But for you to act, what did I do, is just insulting.
No, it's dumb, and McVay will take the high road where there's
always does.
Where there's less traffic. I just heard that expression. Take the high road where there's less traffic.
That's good advice.
And I think that here's the thing about him. He's their best running back. I mean, God bless Ronnie Rivers, and Darrell Henderson can catch the ball out of the backfield. All that we saw last year towards the end of the season and into the playoffs until those two fumbles in the Tampa Bay game and the what was that, the semifinals?
Yeah, an NFC Championship game, right? No, it was before that. It was the second round.
Second round. And they need a running game, and they went out and they shopped around and they tried to find somebody to run the football, and they weren't able to do it at the trade deadline. So I'm not surprised. I guess I am surprised Cam's coming back. Normally, after there's a falling out, that's sort of it. They did try to trade him, reportedly,
right?
And maybe even turn down some offers, some lowball offers on Cam. Their best opportunity, I think, is to play him. The other nugget about the Rams game on Sunday against Tampa is that Cooper Kupp is questionable, but looks like he's going to play.
Well, that would help, because if he doesn't, I think they're dead.
He is called their offense.
Yeah, exactly.
And John, you're going to make fun of me, and that's fine, but I think, again, this is another must-win game for the Rams.
I'll bet you any amount. I'll let you set the amount of mythical money.
Okay.
And I'll take Tampa.
No.
What do you want to bet?
He only has
$3,000.
You want to bet at all? How confident are you?
I need to look.
1,500.
We've got to go an entire year with 3,000 mythical dollars.
If you have confidence in your team, I'm letting you set the amount.
I'll throw $1,000.
Okay.
Throw $1,000. If the Rams,
they ain't winning this game.
If the Rams, and they've got a 2-game winning streak against Tampa, and Tampa's been awful. So here's the deal: if they win, they have to go 5-4 to get to 9. And I think that's
And if
doable.
they lose, they got to go 6-3?
They got to go 6-3, and they're not going 6-3. That's why I think Sunday is absolutely must win. You can't fall to 3-5.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
And there is no rule, by the way, if they fall to 3-5 that says they can't go 6-3 down the stretch.
I mean, they've got the Chiefs, they've got the Chargers twice, or they've got the Seahawks twice, they've got the Packers. They've got a really tough schedule the rest of the way. If you go to 3-5, I will change my attitude about the team.
Okay.
This is going to be a fun year. Hey, if they get on a hot streak, great, but I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, I think that this is a loss. Them going to Tampa. If the game was here, I'd pick the Rams. But I think going to Tampa, I don't know how that Ram offense scores on the Tampa Bay defense. Now, I don't think Tampa's going to score. The best bet's probably the under.
Yeah, I think that's what Anita Mark said yesterday, take the under.
But she also said if she had to bet it, she'd bet Tampa, and I agree with her. I think she's right.
Boy, rough. Are you taking Tampa too, Bergman?
I mean, yeah, I kind of like that team. Both teams are not playing very well. I just don't see
neither team's very good.
No, but I don't see the offense being enough from
Oh,
from the
don't
Rams.
overlook Cam Akers.
How the Rams going to score?
That's the issue. I think that's the issue.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
having.
Cooper Kupp, we've seen Allen Robinson more involved. Van Jefferson hasn't quite clicked into things yet. I don't think he had any catches in that game the other day, but the offensive line was better in that game. Matthew Stafford only sacked twice. He had been the leader in most times sacked of any NFL starting quarterback, so the offensive line with Edwards coming back made a big difference. I don't think it's, I'll just say, it's a week-to-week league, John. It's a week-to-week league.
You're just Mr. Cliche today. Must win, week-to-week league. Next thing you're going to say it's make or miss league. It's an
Hey,
NBA.
John, it is what it is, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it is. Okay, so
Take 1 week at a time.
Yeah, 1 week at a
We're
time.
on the same page, my man.
There you go, Coach. So, John, I misspoke the other day.
You? Never.
Yeah, I did misspeak. I said on the air, if you have any jobs that you want to offer me,
Yeah.
don't.
Yep.
I want to add something to that.
Caveat.
Unless it's an acting job.
Oh, you're back into that now.
Yeah.
You want to be back on TV again.
No. I want to act.
So
I want
TV or movies.
The craft of, or stage. Maybe it's time
Stage.
for me to get back on the boards, John.
Stage. Well, what do you think you're qualified for?
I'll tell you. Next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Football fans, want to win $100 for picking 5 games against the spread? Just download the Cover 5 app for free. Compete with Mason and me each week for a chance to win $100. Here's what you need to do. Download the Cover 5 app, use code MI22 to join our show league, and then start having fun all season long. Just download the Cover 5 app. Use code MI22 to join the Mason and Ireland Show League. Pick 5 games against the spread to win $100 or play all season long at cover5.com.
It's Friday. That's right. Anything goes today. Generally speaking, on the show on Fridays, what happens is we've got this gigantic shared document that has
Yeah, I think
all
I put
kinds-
more things in my email this morning than I ever have.
are
I think
so
there
many
are
things.
like 30 things in there.
And we're just going to work our way through them throughout the day today. But you asked a question, and I will give you an answer. So John, was at one point, you said, what are my qualifications
Yeah.
for being...
No, what are you looking for? What do you feel that you would be good at? What role would you would be in your sweet spot?
Yes, okay. So I think any procedural I would be really good at. Anything by Dick Wolf, CSI this, The Rookie that, Chicago 5, any of those shows, I'd be awesome for. And I am a trained actor.
Yeah, here's the problem.
Yeah.
With-
You've seen me act.
Yeah, with acting. Yeah, you're good. But here's the problem. I've done a couple of cameos over the years in projects, and at least in the case of one of them, I had to leave. You get there at 6 in the morning,
right,
and you're there until like 10 o'clock at night, and you're just waiting. Anthony Hopkins, the great, I think it's now Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, I think it is.
Used to have a line, "We're paid to wait."
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And it is such a tedious process.
But John, it's an art. It's a craft.
Oh my gosh,
it's a craft. But I like Ramona says, she's doing the Sterling Affair right now. She's the executive.
Well, how are we not
producer.
going to be media members in the Sterling Affairs? Can't we be at one of the press conferences or something?
I can play reporter guy. Easy. You can play reporter guy.
Yeah. So my friend Eric Johnson, who was the last player that Bill Walsh drafted, is working on a movie about his life.
Okay.
About Bill Walsh's life. And so I said, I want to roll, just put me in the gallery. I've always been jealous of Michael Roth, who is in the White House press room in one of the biggest episodes of West Wing, 18th and Potomac, when Mrs. Landingham gets killed.
Yep.
And Michael Roth's there in the middle. Him and Rick Garcia are there in the middle.
Rick Garcia!
Like, I got a question, President Bartlett. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I either want that, I want to cameo as a reporter, or I want to get killed on like a Dick Wolf show.
On a Dick Wolf show is perfect.
Yeah, I thought it would have been great if we could have gone on Game of Thrones and got killed.
I'd want to be the person that discovers the body on Law and Order.
You can discover me. I want to be dead.
Right. Like, there's always the opening scene of Law and Order is always
because I figured that'll keep me from having to spend 18 hours there that day.
It's like people in a spin class
Just
and they walk out and all of a sudden there's a dead body and they fall.
Right.
Exactly. That's exactly what's going on there. All right, so I want to ask you this. This has been on the sheet all week long. Carolina kicker Eddie Pinheiro missed an extra point in a 33-yard field goal this past week. And fans have been very, very upset in Carolina, the ones that are still sticking with the team.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. He missed 2 field goals.
Right, he missed a field goal and then did he miss 2 field goals and a long extra point?
So, but this is, with the game on the line, he had a chance to win it.
Right.
At the end of regulation. And he shanked it.
So
the game goes overtime. But then Carolina gets the ball in overtime and gets him even closer.
Yes.
He has like a chip shot, and he missed that too.
So
and they ended up losing.
Kenny Albert, before the game, was calling the game.
Yes, Marv's son.
And he was describing what Eddie Pinheiro was doing during warm-ups.
And plus, we asked the most pressing questions of the day to every Panther in the locker room. What's the best Halloween candy? And is candy corn good? Eddie Pinheiro taking some pregame selfies out there. You won't believe what some of the Panthers said in the locker room in regards to that candy. We got more. Taking
some pregame selfies. Now, during warm-ups on the field.
Sounds like you.
Is it appropriate? Should he be criticized for focusing on his social media instead of getting ready for the game?
It's not a good look.
Terrible look.
But that's what these guys do. Who was the Cincinnati kicker? What's that guy's name? He's really good. He, at the Super Bowl last year, left the locker room and came out and watched the halftime show.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Evan McPherson?
Yeah, Evan McPherson just said, screw it, I want to see who was performing. You were there. Who's
Dre and Snoop?
Oh,
and
yeah,
Eminem.
it was the big
Kendrick.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
He just went out and sat on the bench. Watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And apparently the coach was mad about it afterwards, but he didn't care. He wanted to see the show.
Yeah, I think it's a really bad look. Bergman, bad look?
I mean, it's a bad look, but I don't know.
But I mean, here's the thing. I think everybody's probably out there. Do you think everybody's out there taking selfies? No, it's probably just the kicker. The kicker and the punter. That's it.
I mean, really, they just have to do their job. They don't have to really warm up with everybody else as much as, you don't care if Stafford warming up is more important than Evan McPherson warming up.
Right.
Who cares?
So what's worse, either that or Mark Sanchez eating a hot dog on the sidelines? He got caught by a camera eating a hot dog once.
When he was playing?
Yeah.
When he was.
Steve, who wins the AFC West this year?
Well, 5 words for you. I believe in Mark Sanchez.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Jen Lana.
I don't think Sanchez ever played a game for the Broncos after Mason said that.
No, he was, by the way, pictured on the sidelines during a game as the backup quarterback, or maybe even as the third guy, eating a hot dog. Probably not locked into the game at that point.
Yeah.
Probably a lack of focus.
But the kicker's always going to play.
Yes, correct. Always going to play. All right, let's move to the... Okay, so this is a little dilemma, John, that I've got right now. So I have got neighbors. Let me see if I can describe this. I've got a neighbor that I share a backyard with that is not on my street.
Okay.
So it backs up to my yard.
Okay.
So I don't know these people.
I have the same situation.
Yeah, so I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
But they're obviously not home because for the last month, every 5 minutes, the smoke alarm has beeped to let you know that it needs new batteries.
And you can hear it at your house.
We can hear it at our house loud and every 5 minutes. Like we're out in the jacuzzi every 5 minutes. I don't think, given that we don't know how to reach these people, given that phone number, address, email, nothing, I don't know that we have any way to help them or to, frankly, help us.
Yeah.
You don't want to...
You're not helping them.
Yeah, well, no, I don't want their house to burn down, so their smoke detector isn't working, right? So it wouldn't go off, but is there any way for me to deal with this situation?
Well, if it's still beeping, it's still working. It means it's got a little juice left.
Yeah, then it's still left and working.
Well, this is another, like, example number 1,000 of your isolationist view of neighborhoods. I know every one of my neighbors and have every one of their phone numbers. I know all their kids. I know where they are. I know how to get them. If this happened in my neighborhood, I would either text or call the guy and go, hey, your smoke alarm's going off. You want me to go in there and turn it off? Because nobody in my neighborhood even locks their doors.
So here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Do you think more people are like you in Los Angeles or more people are like me in Los Angeles?
I think in Los Angeles,
you know every one of your neighbors, every cell phone number, text with everybody,
on
doors
on
unlocked.
my street, yeah.
Right. I would say more people are like me than you. I know 3 neighbors.
I agree. I think more people in LA are like you. More people in Manhattan Beach are like me.
Right.
I think Manhattan Beach is close-knit.
Yeah, because you live in Mayberry.
Pleasantville.
Like Aunt B just made a pie.
No, like, do you ever see the movie Pleasantville?
Yeah,
where everything's in black and white?
Everything's in black and white.
All the
That's
kids
your
go out to warm up for basketball and every shot goes in. That's where I live.
Do you know more than 3 of your neighbors, Bergman?
I know every single one of my neighbors. Well, not all of them, but I know most of them. And talk to them as I walk into my apartment every day.
Bergman, how about this? If one of my neighbors is having a party, I can just walk in.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can just walk into their house.
I can just, everybody on my street often does.
A lot
like, if we're having a party, I'll just look up and go, hey, Matt, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He goes, oh, I saw you having a party. I hear you want a beer? Here, take.
Oh, Jorge.
Jorge, every 5 minutes for the rest of the show.
Oh, my God.
That's exactly what's happening. By the way,
by the way, to me, am I the only one this happens to? I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating this or embellishing in any way. The last 10 times I've had to change the battery in a smoke detector, it's always in the middle of the night.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's on purpose.
Why can't it go at 2 in the afternoon?
Yeah,
I'd be happy to change it then. I'm like, come on.
2 a.m.
Every time. No, and it's always between, like, I don't sleep. So it's always between 1 and 5. You know, it's like that's when it beeps. Between 1 and 5.
So tomorrow I'm going to LAFC. Sunday I'm going to watch the Rams game. You know what I'm doing before the Rams game?
Getting stoned?
Putting up Christmas decorations.
It's too early, man.
Too early, man.
Wait till Black Friday.
I love me some Christmas, man. I hate Halloween. I love Christmas. Can't start soon enough. It was a tradition in the family. We always put our Christmas decorations up very, very early. All right.
Too early. It's Thanksgiving time.
No, it's Thanksgiving. I have a retort.
It's Friday, gotta get
I think I'd rather hear the beep.
Every time I hear that beep, I'm going to play.
It's Friday.
We won't annoy anybody today.
So listen to Mason in Ireland, where you can hear.
You can just hear him sucking down the big sucking sound.
All right.
Look at that hate.
No, Jorge wanted this one.
By the way, I gotta
load it in.
Jorge, I parked next to you in the parking garage. Yeah. Do you leave that obnoxious Niners poncho on your seat everywhere you go?
No, I just have.
It's just gonna be whatever happens to Mason every time it plays.
John, a man after your own heart.
Who's that?
He has set a record for most golf played in a year. I want to compare his golf habits with your golf habits.
All right, so how much has he played?
I will tell you next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
For an instant cash offer. Puente Hills Toyota, the house of yes. Producer Jorge, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it!
All right, here we go. Wheel of questions time. And let's give it. Let's see what you guys do with this.
Change the batteries.
What weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could? What weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could?
Blowing your nose in public.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's one of mine. That's one of mine
Yeah,
on
see,
my
there you go.
list. Ireland, socially acceptable if you could.
Legalized sports gambling everywhere.
Oh, I think that's totally great.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean we got initiatives on the ballot on Tuesday. Maybe
Which I hear
that'll
are both
happen.
going to lose.
I heard they're both going to lose too.
Yeah, that's
Bergman, what
interesting.
about you?
Sandals on airplanes.
Oh, gross.
Oh,
right, let
you're
me-
saying gross? You're going to call
you know what?
something I do gross.
But Greg, I got shamed into something,
okay.
and I want you. Maybe you guys will say it's a good thing. So you guys know that your feet swell on airplanes.
No, did not know that.
You didn't know that?
Well, the height. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Does
so if
only
you
your feet, or does everything?
when I used to, I don't have to worry about this problem anymore because I used to wear dress shoes to all the Laker road games, and I would, because I was mostly in East Coast cold weather cities,
Right.
I'd wear thick socks.
Okay.
So the combination of thick socks and dress shoes got pretty uncomfortable on a 4 or 5 hour flight. So I would take off my shoes.
Okay. Leave your socks on.
Yeah, which were pretty thick.
Yeah.
And one time somebody shamed me because I went to the bathroom in my thick socks and came back and they go, those bathrooms are pretty gross.
Bathrooms are gross.
I can't
on
believe you're not
planes.
wearing shoes. And I go, these socks are really thick. Doesn't matter. Is that... And now I don't do it anymore. Now I leave my shoes on in planes because now you can wear tennis shoes with suits.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But would you guys have gone back to your shoes? I got shamed into put my shoes back on.
First of all, I never would have done it
Yeah.
because airplane bathrooms are like the gross.
But it's not like I'm barefoot.
Yeah,
I mean,
but then
pretty
you're-
thick socks.
You're putting them in your shoes, and then
Right.
your shoes are filthy inside, and it just seems.
No,
like,
I mean, I could argue that wearing my shoes into the airport bathroom and then wearing those shoes to the hotel would make it worse.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Bergman, why sandals and socks?
Well, sandals and socks.
sandals.
Well, Greg, if you
Sandals on a
like
plane.
sandals and socks, just join the NBA.
Oh yeah,
That's
well,
like
no, you need
standard.
slides. You need slides for that, which is
Yeah.
totally fine. A completely
But you're talking
acceptable
about
thing.
sandals
Yeah, look, I
without
just like-
socks on a plane.
I like wearing sandals. I like being comfortable. I used to wear sandals on the planes. I have been shamed into wearing shoes. I just wish it was socially acceptable to wear sandals
Okay.
on a plane.
Jorge, anything come to mind?
No,
nothing.
All right, somebody
Fine with
just tweeted us, Mace. Normalize smoking weed in public. I think that's going to happen.
It kind of already is.
It's kind of, but still, it's like cigarettes.
In
you
the-
can't smoke in like really.
Well,
congested
in the
areas.
parking garage at LA Live, it's a daily occurrence.
Correct,
So there you go.
correct. I've got a number of them. Eating in bed,
Yeah,
No, that's not okay.
that's never going to catch on.
taking your laptop to the bathroom.
Taking your laptop to your bathroom at home, completely acceptable. Doing it to a public restroom is weird.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes,
Drinking out of a cup that you left in there for an hour.
Yeah, that's weird too.
Yeah, you guys are. I'm not the boy in the plastic bubble. I'm not afraid.
No,
of stuff
you
the
are
way
definitely
you
not that.
You're the opposite.
Yeah.
All right, John, you golf. John, you golf.
Amanda, by the way, Amanda texted me. And she said, I'm turning off this effing show if you keep playing that smoke.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in and you're wondering what that beeping sound is, they're making fun of me because the neighbors next door have not replaced the batteries in their smoke
And
detector.
because Mason is an isolationist, he doesn't know his neighbors, and he has no way of getting a hold of them to tell them to do it. So it would be weird
I
if...
think her name is Tanya. Tanya,
Okay.
are you listening?
Would it be weird if you went over there and disconnected it? That's all you did. You just walked in, unplugged it,
Break into the
walked,
house?
Yes, walked. But you did nothing other than unplug it and left a note on the door saying, "Hey, your smoke alarm was going off.
I broke into your house?
It was really bothering us, so we disconnected it. I hope you don't mind. Any questions? Here's my number." I would do that.
Or it's a 9-volt battery, those squared ones.
Yeah.
Tape it to her door with a note.
Yeah, but so what? I still have to deal with the beeping. I still have the beeping.
Are you fairly certain they're out of town?
Nobody's home.
Okay.
Oh.
Nobody's been home for
So
a
that
month.
that won't work if you tape
they
a
break in.
battery. Yeah.
So here's the plan. I'm
Somebody,
gonna
wait a
take-
minute. They have no pets. They have no reason. No
Nothing.
one. It's just shut.
Nobody. Empty house.
Okay.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap a towel around my hand. I'm going to break through a window.
Okay.
I'm going to reach around, unlock the door,
Okay.
sneak in. I mean, seriously,
That's you
is that
breaking the
what you
window.
want me to do? How else would I get in except for breaking in?
No, everybody has a hide key.
I'd get a B&E.
Everybody has a hide key somewhere.
So that's what I should do is go
Find
over
the hide
and
key.
search for the hide
Sure.
key.
Just look at all the rocks. It's usually under the rock.
It
Under
is
the
under
mat.
the rock, or it's under the plant.
Yeah, under the plant.
Under the doormat. By the way, it's unbelievable how many people just leave their key under the doormat.
No one will figure that out.
No, not at all. All right, so John, I found a guy named Nolan Krintz.
Okay, hi, Nolan.
He played 17,820 holes of golf in a year.
17,000.
That is the equivalent of 59 holes a day.
Okay.
For an entire year. Now, how many holes do you think you play in a year? He's
I can
at
tell you.
17,000. Oh, you can actually say?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at 17,820. Clearly, it's some sort of full-time job. He's well off, and he doesn't have to work.
So, because I have a handicap, I post every round that I play.
Okay.
It says number of scores. Can I do year to date? It only has 20 in here, but I've played more than 20 times this year.
Well, estimate.
I would say, what month are we in? November?
November.
I would say I played
How
12 times a month for the first 10 months. So that's 120 rounds.
That's more than that. Oh, 120. How many holes?
Well, times 18.
That's a lot
120 times 18, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of golf.
I've got a calculator out now.
Good for you.
20 times. I should be a lot better. That's how many holes
2,160 holes.
so far this year.
You are shy by about, he's at 17,820. That guy's got no job. He's just golfing every day.
Well, that would be me if I get canceled.
No.
If I get canceled, that's all I'm doing. I'm just going to
You're
play golf.
just going to go
every
play
day.
golf?
Why not?
Yeah, I need more going on.
No, it doesn't take the whole day.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like...
He's playing 59 holes a day.
Yeah, he takes the whole day.
Yeah, he's taking the whole day.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, shout out, Major Pain. This is the best bit ever. # smoke detector beep.
People in the community are very angry.
I hope Juan is listening, because he will be infuriated that this is going, because he's hearing it twice. He's hearing it from the actual house and then from the radio.
I think he has tuned us out.
I think a lot of people are tuning us out right now. People in the mafia are very angry.
Look, the mafia is always right. I would say, do we kill? No.
All right, Kobe Forever says, WTF is Ireland talking about? I'm Team Mace here. I would get shot for touching the doorknob of my neighbors.
Yes!
Ireland is living in fairyland. Now he's asking Mace to commit a felony.
It is a B&E.
It really is.
Yeah, in my neighborhood, it wouldn't be a felony.
Well, because the doors aren't locked.
Although during the pandemic, my house flooded, all right? And I took every towel I had in my house because I was trying to save my wood floors.
Okay.
It really didn't work. I had to replace most of them. But I'm throwing every towel on the floor. And then I'm throwing towels in the dryer, trying to stay ahead of the flood.
Right.
It was just a torrential rainstorm, and there was somehow the outside of my house wasn't sealed.
Yep.
So I knew my neighbors, Joe and Cindy, down the street were out of town.
Right.
And I knew I knew how to get into their house. So I texted her, and I said, hey, Cindy, I am dealing with a flood. Can I go use your washer and dryer? And she said, yeah, sure. Whatever. It was kind of good because I had a mask on. I had COVID, too.
Oh, you
this
had
is
COVID.
when I was quarantined with COVID.
Okay.
So it's pouring rain.
Yeah.
I've got a hoodie on. I'm carrying 20 wet towels, walking into her garage to throw them in the dryer. And 3 of my neighbors just saw a guy with a hoodie and a mask on and came over to confront me. Who are you? What are you doing? I said, guys, it's me. It's John, Ireland. I have COVID. You can't come any closer to me. And it was like the biggest cluster because they went, wait, who are you? No, you're not. I know John. I'm like, take off the hoodie. Take off the mask. Stop. But I got through it, but it was like the weirdest confluence of events.
Is weird. Hey, listen, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has got their inductions going on tomorrow night at Microsoft. right over here. Do you know Jimmy Jam is going to join us here in a minute? He and Terry Lewis, the mega producers, are going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow night. We'll have to look up and see who else is going in with them. But Jimmy Jam is going to...
Huge NBA fan.
Yeah, big NBA fan. Jimmy Jam is going to join us next, talk about that tremendous honor tomorrow night at Microsoft Arena. Mesa in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
ESPN. As we get ready for LAFC to get that cup. Don't forget tomorrow, the MLS Cup Final coverage begins at noon right here on 710 and the all-new ESPNLA app. We call it a Black and Gold Friday because we're getting pumped for LAFC, yo. That is tomorrow. Right now, more of Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon on 710.
Hope to connect to Jimmy Jam. Not on the line yet, but tomorrow night's Hall of Fame class, John, what do you think? Dolly Parton?
I heard she didn't want to go in. Maybe she changed her mind.
Maybe she did. Lionel Richie.
The best.
Eminem.
Great.
Carly Simon.
Are they all going to be here tomorrow night?
Yeah. Duran Duran. Eurythmics. Pat Benatar. Judas Priest. Harry Belafonte. And Jimmy Iovine.
Jimmy Iovine, who married the most famous girl ever to come out of my high school.
Who was that?
Vicky McCarty.
Yeah.
Valedictorian, Playboy Playmate of the Year, Harvard graduate.
Get out of here. She's
Yeah,
a
all those
Playboy
things.
Playmate.
The year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, what makes you think Bill McDonald doesn't know her already? Yeah. Michael's here.
Thompson, what's going on, man?
Oh, Harry Belafonte? Yeah, yo. Of course he's got to go in.
Yeah, exactly.
All of our Caribbean boys belong in there. How about the Baha Men? Are they nominated?
They are
Baja
not
Men.
nominated.
Didn't they only have one hit?
Yeah, one hit.
One hit wonder?
Don't believe. By the way, isn't it weird that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction is in Los Angeles, even though the Hall of Fame itself?
No,
is
this
in
has. We'll ask Jimmy about it, but this has to be like an auxiliary thing because the real Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland is still.
And when are they going
there.
to change the name? Just call it the Music Hall of Fame. Does Eminem play rock and roll? You know, come on,
Michael. I think we've all accepted that it's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is broader than just specifically rock and
so
roll.
call it the Music Hall of Fame. There it
There
is.
it is.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
Hall of Fame song. You were barking when this song came out.
Yeah, I was briefly. Briefly. All right. So in the meantime, let me ask this. We'll try to connect with Jimmy.
He won't.
Thousands of people in Sweden are having microchip. Now, don't jump in yet.
Okay.
I know what you're doing, Michael. Shut up for a minute. They're having microchips inserted into their hands to carry out everyday activities, including credit cards, cash, we'll hold that because Jimmy Jam is on the line right now. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Hey, first of all, congratulations, man. This is long overdue and well deserved. You guys both deserve it, and this is a great honor. How you feeling about it?
I feel great, man. And by the way, I don't think we're overdue. I feel like it is well deserved, but I can't be overdue because when you have people like Lionel Richie going in, and you have people like Harry Belafonte going in, I mean, it's like it can't be overdue for us. It's
There you
overdue
go.
for them, probably.
Okay.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
sure.
It's a great group to go in with, for sure. Yeah.
And you're going in with Terry, and you and he have done so much producing over the years. What would you say? I mean, with Prince, with Janet Jackson, what do you think is your signature out? This is an impossible question. What is your signature album?
Oh, I don't think it is. I'll be surprised if it's not what I think it is. What do you say, Jimmy?
So a signature album?
Yes.
You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so signature album as it relates to the Rock Hall would have to be one of Janet's albums, probably Rhythm Nation.
That's
or
what I was thinking. Rhythm Nation.
one of those.
Yeah.
Because it definitely, sonically, I think it fits, and also, obviously, the times we're in now, I mean, those lyrics are very relevant to what's happening now, unfortunately. So I that would probably be the one I'd say.
So we're talking to Jimmy Jam, who is going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jimmy, Janet, people forget that Janet was not, like, the Jackson 5 were huge stars. Michael obviously broke out of that on their own. And then Janet, she, I don't know if the right word would be nepotism. I don't think it is. But she was obviously going to get a chance because of her family to record. Yeah. But did you know she had those clubs in her bag when you guys made Rhythm Nation? When you guys sat down with her and started working with her, when did you know, oh boy, this has the chance to go global?
Well, I think we knew because we just had a feeling. Like, the way we always chose who we worked with was always if they inspired us in some way. And so even though Janet had a couple of albums out before, Control was actually the first one we did with her, she had a couple albums out before that. The thing we thought was missing from those albums was her attitude. Like, as a little kid, if you saw her on the variety shows with her brother and stuff, she had so much attitude, right? But then the records that she was doing were just kind of, I don't know, just kind of soft and that. So our first thing was, let's give her some music with some attitude. But second, let's ask her what she wants to sing about. So make the songs personal to her. And then that worked for Control very well because she was a 18, 19-year-old girl that was moving out on her own. And it really resonated with people. So we thought we had the right formula, I guess you could say, to kind of bring her out and make her work. We had no idea, of course, what the success would be of it, but we did have a pretty good feeling about it. And she was so inspirational just to write for, because she was so open to just any idea we would throw out, she would go, yeah, let's try it, So, and that makes it, for a creative person, there's nothing better than that.
So, Jimmy, Michael Thompson is sitting here.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy grew up in Minnesota.
That's right, Jimmy.
How old were you, Jimmy, when you first heard the name Michael Thompson?
Oh my God! Well, it was a while back.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But I was a big Gopher fan, man, and he was such a tremendous player for us, man, and that was really. I think Minnesota's had a few glory days of basketball on the college side, but definitely when Michael Thompson was there, it definitely was some good times in Minnesota.
Last week, Jimmy, I went back to Williams Arena to talk to the team and get some free swag from the U of M.
and I was appalled, Jimmy, that they did not have Michael's puka shell necklaces, which he actually wore in the games back when you used to watch him play.
It's interesting,
Oh
Jim.
my God, they don't have those? Come on.
Oh, what's interesting, Jimmy, is Michael. How much do you think he got paid for going to Minnesota?
What kind of question is that?
You always say I don't ask the tough questions. I'm asking a tough question.
Well, I'll tell you this: coming from the Bahamas, when he hit that cold weather, whatever it wasn't enough.
No,
it wasn't enough, right? As long, but they probably were paying you in, like fur coats or
coconuts.
Coconuts.
Yes.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was, baby. You never have coconut water is good for you.
Warm.
Jimmy, I had a chance. God. Jimmy, I had a chance to stay with the Minnesota Timberwolves for as long as I wanted to, but I after 2 years there, Jimmy, I couldn't take the winters anymore. It's just too cold, man, for an island boy.
My wife, who's from L.A., when we were living in Minnesota and going to the games and the whole thing, the Timberwolves games and all that, She told me two things. She said, Minnesota is a nice place to be from. And she said, you can move. You know you can move.
That's right.
And so literally when Terry actually came out here first, and he said, Jam, you got to come out here. And before I could even get the words out of my mouth, I said, hey, Lisa, how would you feel about moving back to the bags were being packed? Like the bags were flying at that point.
Wow.
So, it's obviously you can't beat the weather out.
Hey, well, Jimmy, when the Timberwolves were put on sale by Glenn Taylor, why didn't you try to get in on the ownership group?
Well, we did, as a matter of fact. So here's a quick story on that. When the All-Star game was in Minnesota, which was 1994, if I'm not mistaken, I remember they interviewed Magic Johnson. The local paper interviewed Magic Johnson, and they said to Magic, who do you think would be a good owner for the Timberwolves? And he said, I think Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And they said, well, why? And he said, because they're big basketball fans, but they also understand it's entertainment. So they could bring concerts and they could do all these kind of different things. We got a call literally from Adam Silver came to town, like literally the next day. And we were in negotiations to buy the team. And we put a group together. We had Janet Jackson. We had Denzel Washington. We had Magic Johnson. We were going to hire Kevin McHale as our guy.
Yeah.
So we had it all set to go.
What happened?
But then Glenn Taylor swooped in. With an open checkbook and did it. But I have to tell you, we weren't really interested in buying the team so much. We were just interested in keeping the team in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And by us intervening, it allowed, because they were talking about moving to New Orleans and all kinds of different stuff. Well, when Magic got involved, they said, oh, no, we'll keep the team in Minnesota. So that gave us enough time to get, when Glenn Taylor came in and scooped it up, that was perfect.
What was the what was the price of the team when you guys were bidding for it at that time compared to now?
So when we were bidding for the team, if I remember correctly, it was $80 million.
Whoa!
And
boy, you couldn't even get Anthony Edwards for that now.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that won't even pay a one-player salary.
Wow.
But it was $80 million. But there was also, I remember, like a rebate or something happening for a merchandise deal or some sort of thing like that. And we had big plans. We were going to buy the Target Center. We were going to buy the whole arena also, because we thought we had a good chance of bringing a hockey team up there. I can't remember whether it was Winnipeg or there was a couple of teams that I know wanted to move. So we thought if we could get hockey, we could get basketball. And then we actually also talked to Carl Pohlad when he was still alive, the Twins owner, about going in and actually adding the baseball team and just kind of doing a whole kind of conglomerate.
You guys would have been great.
Anyway.
For that.
Oh yeah, I wish that would have happened. That would you were going. I saw you at all those games every day. You were going to the games anyway. Why not?
Now that team is valued at $2 billion, Jimmy. How about that?
What are you making the guy feel bad?
Well, Jimmy, think of all the money you still have that you didn't buy him. That's the other thing. At least.
Yeah, exactly. No, it would have been great. But my thing was just as we were sitting courtside, we were looking around at everybody, and we were going, "How come somebody doesn't buy the team?" Like, we're just kind of looking around. How can somebody buy the team? And then everybody's looking at us like, "Why don't you guys buy the team?" So it was really an interesting thing. And by the way, every time we saw. We'd run into not Adam Silver, but I'm sorry,
David Stern
that passed away.
David Stern.
Yeah.
Every time we saw David Stern, he'd say to us, "Hey, I hear this team's for sale. I hear this team's for sale." We go, "David, we're not really interested in the team." But the one he always told us about, interestingly enough, Golden State.
Oh, interesting.
Golden State is available. Golden State is available.
Now they're the richest one.
$7 billion.
That would have been the one.
Jimmy Jam, when you guys were talking to the Timberwolves, did you guys ask Prince if he wanted to be a part of the ownership group?
No, we didn't, but we probably would have loved to have him. He was a huge fan, and I always knew courtside at the games. You probably remember this. My chair was right next to the announcer table, which I loved. Right. So, but some nights there would be an extra chair there, and I would always know, particularly if it was like Allen Iverson was playing or Michael Jordan was playing.
Kobe.
I knew Prince was coming. Yes, Kobe was coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember the day that Rodman kicked the cameraman?
Yeah.
Were you there? Right. So Prince was at that game. And I remember he just fell out laughing. He just said, "Oh my!" It was the funniest thing ever. Wow.
So we're talking to Jimmy Jam Harris, who is going into the Rock Hall of Fame with Terry Lewis as his partner, and they've done so much stuff. And people forget, Jimmy, that because you've had such a successful producing career, that you were actually in the Time.
Yeah.
You know, people know the Time from Purple Rain and Morris Day and the Time. You told me once it actually ended when Prince fired you, right?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah,
Why did he fire you?
Okay, so we as we were on tour on the first time tour,
Right.
we actually had a layover in New York, like a 4-day layover in New York. And we had met Clarence Avant, who people know now as the Black Godfather if they've seen the documentary on Netflix. And if you haven't, please see it. But Clarence had called us and said, we want you to go to Atlanta and produce the SOS Band. So we had the 3 or 4 days off, and we said, we'll go down to Atlanta and record the SOS Band. When we get to Atlanta, we record. Everything goes great. When we're getting ready to leave Atlanta, there's a snowstorm. Now, by snowstorm, by Minnesota standards, it's what we would call a dusting of snow, meaning you don't even need a shovel. You can just sweep it off.
Yeah.
They shut the airport down. We missed the next time gig, which was in San Antonio, Texas. And then when Prince found out we were down there producing the SOS Band, he had told us not to produce other records. So now that summer, we go to Sunset. So the same night, we're going to now mix the SOS Band record. Prince calls and says, meet me at Sunset Sound, which is a famous studio out here. We go to Sunset Sound. We go in a little room. It's Terry, myself, Prince, Morris, and Jesse Johnson. And he goes, Prince goes, you're fired. I told you not to work with other groups. You're fired. So Terry and I walked out the door. We looked at each other and we said, well, let's go to the other studio and mix the SOS Band. And we walked into that studio. The engineer was a guy named Steve Hodge. Steve Hodge, we had never met him, but we knew we wanted him to mix our record. He said, what's wrong with you guys? And we said, oh, we just got fired from the time. And he said, well, I don't think you have anything to worry about. And he pressed play, and his mix of Just Be Good to Me came blasting out of these huge speakers.
Yeah.
And so literally the day that we got fired, we mixed our first kind of big Jam and Lewis kit.
Yeah, sounds like it was meant to be.
So I saw you guys reunite and perform. I think it was on the Grammy Awards, wasn't it? Didn't you guys perform on the Grammys?
We reunited. Matter of fact, interestingly enough, we performed with Rihanna.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was when I was chairman of the Recording Academy. I think this was 13 or 14 years ago. And it was the 50th year of the Grammys, and Ken Ehrlich, who was the executive producer of the Grammy show, he called me and he said, we've never had a chairman perform on the show. Would you come out, act like you're going to give a speech, and then we're going to put a keyboard around your neck, and then you launch into Jungle Love or whatever. And that's what we ended up doing.
That is awesome.
That's what we did.
Great.
And then we combined it with Rihanna had a song called "Please Don't Stop the Music," and we combined those two together, and it was just so much fun, man. It was great.
So Jimmy, it's always a big deal, like who presents you for the award, right? Isn't that still a thing? Like who's going to introduce you, and who is going to do that for you?
So I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, okay.
But I would say if you just thought in your mind who should present us, then that's probably who will present it.
I think that answers. Yeah, I think that answers the question.
Jimmy, what has happened to music? What has happened to music? The great talent. Jimmy, everybody today, they just talk. It's just rap. What has happened to the musicians like Prince and Bruno Mars? There are no more of those guys around. Jimmy, why don't you bring them back?
No, there's a ton of those guys around. Actually, music, I think, is in a really positive place and moving in a really good place. And personally, I love rap music. And one of the people that's going in this year to the Rock Hall is Sylvia Robinson. And I don't know, do you remember the song Pillow Talk from back in the day? She had a big hit called Pillow Talk.
I remember. I'm old enough to remember it.
Yeah, okay. Michael remembers it.
So anyway, she had a big hit. But what her more interesting story was, she was, Rapper's Delight, right? Everybody knows.
Oh, yeah, of course.
She was the one. Her label, Sugar Hill Records, was the label that song came out on. So she basically introduced rap music to the masses as a black female entrepreneur.
No, that was
and not only that, she was also she also played guitar too. Like she played on the records. But then the other record that she did 3 years later was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, The Message. So just between those two records, they put hip-hop on the map.
Yeah.
And so she's going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of that. But she was also an artist before that. And so it's very cool, man.
Jimmy, you know who
music is in good shape, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but do you know who the the first rap #1 song was?
The first rap #1?
That's right. Nobody ever gets it.
Curtis Blow?
No! It was Blondie and Rapture.
Oh, she's not rapping.
She's rapping.
Oh, come on.
Jimmy, she's rapping.
MT.
No?
Well, I don't think so, but I don't know. We'll have to. I don't know about that one.
I'm not sure about that.
By the way, And by the way, I am a Rock and Roll Jeopardy champion, so that qualifies me also for the Rock.
Absolutely.
There. Yeah.
So Michael always asks. He's always on me. He says, "Ask tougher questions. Ask tougher questions." So here you go. You ready? Who's the biggest pain in the ass you ever worked with?
He's not going to say that.
Wow.
Might be Prince. It sounds like.
Besides, yeah. Prince was interesting though, because what Prince
Terry
taught
Lewis.
us was work ethic. Oh, it's definitely not Terry Lewis.
Okay.
Terry Lewis. Listen, here's the thing about Terry, and I tell people this all the time. Terry and I never have had an argument in our life.
The whole time.
I've known Terry, it'll be 50 years next year. I met Terry in 1973.
Jeez, maybe
and it'll be
him.
50 years next year.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Yeah, if he was a woman, I would have married him.
There you go.
Yep.
But no, we never argue. Well, we have disagreements, but disagreements is something you're trying to solve. So you try to get to a solution. You try to find a solution for a disagreement. So that's the way we look at it. We don't always agree on every on everything, but it all works out really, really well. As far as we haven't really dealt with assholes, quite honestly, because we do a pretty good job of picking, and we always put, like, we used to call it the Excedrin budget in there. Like, how big of a headache is this going to be? Well, we're going to need a little more in the Excedrin budget to take care of it.
There you go. The Excedrin that's what we need to deal with Michael Thompson.
Well, no, that's because you never worked with Steve Mason.
Right on each other there. Hey, Jimmy, congratulations, man.
Jimmy.
I'm glad
Really
you were
great.
able to do this today. It is an unbelievable accomplishment. Incredibly well-deserved.
How come we don't see you at more Laker games, huh?
I will get to some games eventually. I have to still work for a living, man. I can't get to the games anymore.
All right. Hey, Jimmy, thanks, man. Have a great time tomorrow night.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, Jimmy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jimmy. See ya.
The legendary Jimmy.
One of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, what a cool guy.
Huge NBA fan, by the way.
Yeah,
The
really
biggest.
big NBA fan.
It's not the case anymore, but his wife,
Married well.
his wife, her younger sister was married to Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
They're not
okay.
married anymore,
Right.
but Jimmy's brother-in-law for 20 years was Kevin Garnett.
Oh, wow. All right, coming up next, Michael, today's the day we just go through everything that we've laid out all week long, and we move through stories quickly.
Leftovers?
So, yeah,
Leftovers?
these are all the leftovers. That's actually a great way to describe it. All right, coming up next, what they're doing in Sweden. I started that story. And a potential trade suggested by Bill Simmons for the Lakers. We got that coming up for you. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
More of Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon on 710.
Yeah, that was really good. All right, so
we should bring that up.
yeah,
In bad taste.
It's Friday.
that's right. So Michael Thompson's hanging out today. Got a little Lakers basketball coming up for you tonight. Utah Jazz at Crypto.com Arena. Surprisingly good Jazz.
4-2.
We
Where
thought
did that come from?
they were tanking.
Yeah, but you know they
moved
have.
So you don't have your headphones on, but
What happened? What did Greg say?
I'll repeat this.
I didn't say anything.
So my neighbors are clearly out of town because for a month now, the smoke detector has been warning that the battery is running low.
That beeping?
So I hear that beep I hear that beep every 5 minutes.
All day.
All day, all
So
night.
he asked me what he should do. I said, go in. Nobody's there.
Right.
Figure out a way to get in. Just unplug it and get out.
He wants me to break it.
Break it,
Yeah.
break in an entry?
B&E. I don't want a B&E on my record.
Well, do you know your neighbor's phone? No, you don't know your neighbor's phone number, do you?
It's weird. They're on a different street. We share backyards. I don't know. I think it's some lady named Tanya.
But that beep
I think
is that
she's German or
that
something.
beep is that loud you could hear from across
You know,
the
if you
Loud and clear.
If you hired an investigator, they would, within a day, they'd get you a name and a contact number.
Well, is it to the point where I need a private investigator?
Well,
to
you're
do
just
it?
chicken. I would just go over and unplug it, but you don't want to
You'd break into their house.
Sure, but I know all my neighbors.
There's got to
so.
be a window open somewhere.
You think so?
There's got to be a window they left open. You could, lift it up and sneak in.
I look. I
You should
have.
do it.
I've got a clean record, and I'm going to keep.
When
it
do you
that
think
way.
they'll be back?
I have no idea. I don't know them.
They've been gone a month at least.
They've been gone a month.
Tweet from Parth D.
Hey, Parth.
That was an excellent interview with Jimmy Jam. So much for Mason and Ireland don't ask the good questions anymore. Take that, Bergie.
No, he asked a question that you knew he wasn't going to answer.
No, he
Who's the biggest jerk he worked
He
with?
kind of did answer. He said certain of their artists.
By the way,
he
there's
needs
no
a
doubt
more
that
Excedrin
Janet
for.
Jackson's the one introducing him, right?
I think it's got to be Janet Jackson
He
introducing.
said the person who should is.
Yeah.
So it's got to be
By
her.
the way, Michael was the best interviewer of the
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
So we can only do interviews when Michael's.
I asked the
Pretty much.
pertinent questions.
Yeah, no, it was good. You were really good in that interview. All right, so
$80 million for the Timberwolves.
so thousands of people in Sweden
are crazy.
are having microchips inserted into their hands to carry out everyday activities, including credit cards and cash and key cards.
So where
and
in my hand
fobs.
is it? Do you know?
It's the size of a grain of rice, and I don't know exactly where it is in your
Okay.
hand, but it's tiny.
Okay.
Size of a grain of rice. It will also keep track of your steps. It'll do what
All right,
Fitbit does.
you want this, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I do want this.
You're an idiot.
Supposed to get
No.
into your bloodstream. Goes to your heart.
Michael, you really think there's been no research about this?
please.
Okay, do
you
you ever
don't
see-
think there have been trials and
Did
stuff
you ever
like that?
see the movie The Kingsman?
Yes.
Okay, so Samuel L. Jackson is a villain. He's a sinister villain.
Yes.
And he basically starts the world's biggest cell phone company.
Yep.
And he basically uses the cell phone to corrupt the brains
Right.
of everybody, and they all
Right.
turn on each other, and it starts a worldwide riot.
So are you aware that that's a movie and not a real...
no, that's
not a
exactly
documentary.
what happened.
That is not a documentary.
That's exactly what would happen if you get a chip put in your hand.
What's the difference between me paying for everything with my phone, which is what I do, and me just being able to wave my hand over something and pay?
Because it's not in your body.
You have never do surgery that you don't have to do.
It's a little shot. They
Don't
put
care.
a
It's
grain of sand,
it's
a grain
surgery.
of rice
Never
in your
do
hand.
surgery that you don't have to
Bert,
do.
No.
You guys are all not. You
No.
guys are such technophobes.
this is
You
the-
think everything is going to take over the world because you saw the Terminator. I mean, grow up.
You think that we all gang up on you and we always go against you? This is just ridiculous.
No.
Don't put anything into my body that doesn't
Thousands of
belong
people-
in my
And I'll
body.
tell you the other thing. Although he's like Lex Luthor now, part of Tesla, they're coming up with this Neuralink thing that you can put into your brain that will allow you to like search the
Wait a
internet
minute.
in
So,
your brain.
but it's a type of brain surgery?
Yes.
No, thank
yeah,
you.
you're having it.
Would you do that?
Why would
Absolutely.
anybody
You would do it.
Oh yeah,
You're crazy.
yeah.
Brain
with
surgery?
with a thought. I can look up anything on the internet. You say, what was so-and-so's batting average this year? I'll just think it, and I'll have his batting average. It's the greatest thing in the world. I've got like football reference, basketball reference, baseball reference, all in my brain.
Man, you have enough voices in your head already. You really want more
That's what
going through
Google is for. Why do you need it in your brain?
Because I have to go through Google, and I have to type, and this is just, I think it, and I have the
You
answer.
really think that'll work?
I do.
No way.
I do.
No, man, you can't be.
And by the way, I think you probably all. No, Michael, you won't do it. It won't.
I'm not doing it.
No,
you won't. Do
No friggin' way.
Nope, hard pass. Nobody's doing it, Mace. You're the only one.
You're the only one that's
Thousands
doing
of people
a
are doing
completely
this.
unnecessary surgery.
Take a poll. How many people would do it? Where's Sedano and me?
Yeah, put up a poll.
Put up a poll. Put up a poll.
What's the trade?
Okay, so Bill Simmons has suggested a trade, and by the way, I think he suggested this before we saw the Lakers go on this 2-game tear.
See, why you say it like that?
He's right.
It is. It's been a 2-game tear.
It wasn't for Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So Bill Simmons made this suggestion. How about Russell Westbrook plus the 27 pick? Now, would that be the first round or second round?
First round.
First round pick.
Yeah.
27.
They have first rounder in 27 and first rounder
How many
in
teams
29.
in the NBA? How many teams in the NBA, Steve?
30?
There you go.
Yeah. So Bill Simmons suggests a Russell Westbrook plus the 27 pick deal for De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh, no, Sacramento ain't gonna do that.
Wait
Why
a
would
minute.
Sacramento do
Okay,
that?
John Ireland has a suggestion.
Okay.
Okay. Russell Westbrook and the 29 pick for Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a better one.
whoa,
Russell
whoa.
Westbrook and a 27 and 29 pick
Hang on.
for Luka.
Hang on. I, as a Lakers fan, would not want that deal.
Why?
Because I don't think that De'Aaron Fox is. I think he's a great player. I don't think he's a top 10 player
play.
in the league. He's not a top 10
He's a
player
top
in the
10.
league.
He's a top 10 point guard.
And
Yes.
you're locked into him for the next
So what?
3
He's
years. You've got
24.
3 more years.
he's Mace.
In other words, you're locking up
He's
cap space
great.
for next year.
He's great.
Oh, he's a great player, but
can
I don't
play.
think he's.
That-
I don't think
that's
he's
what
a
you
top
wanna-
10 player.
That's what you want to use your cap space on, is a guy like
If
De'Aaron
you're
Fox.
Sacramento, what's the point of having
No,
him?
they-
You're going absolutely nowhere fast. And by the way, that's been the story for a number of years.
No, they're not gonna
Sorry,
trade
Taylor,
him.
the board
He's the
op.
face of their franchise. They're not going to trade him.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it as a Lakers fan.
What?
Yeah, you're crazy.
Wouldn't do it as a Lakers
Man,
fan.
De'Aaron Fox
He's
is
got
legit.
they got so much money. I want that cap space for next year.
For who? There's nobody out there next year. There's
Who's
no big
not
time free agent.
out there?
There's no big time game-changing free agent available.
Let's see.
All right,
2023 free agents. Is
Everybody's-
that true? There are no game changing.
everybody's
free
locked
There's
up.
not anybody that's not anybody better than De'Aaron Fox.
No,
Really?
not even
Yeah.
close.
I mean, there's a handful of older guys.
He's a legitimate all-star
but
talent player.
There's
But
Draymond. Would you rather have Draymond or De'Aaron Fox?
Well, I like Draymond a lot.
Would you rather have Draymond or De'Aaron Fox?
I'll take Draymond.
what?
I'll take Draymond.
Draymond's so much older.
Yeah, man. Fox is like 24.
Let's see. Karis LeVert, Kobe White, Darius Garland.
Nope.
Nice player.
No, he just signed a long-term deal. He's not
Did he?
going to-
Okay, he's not on this list. Let's see.
Pepe Mantilla.
Draymond,
Pepe Mantilla tells Basin, keep on dreaming.
D'Angelo Russell,
Yeah. You are not getting De'Aaron Fox out of Sacramento.
Tyler Hero.
I don't know why Bill
Tyler
is-
just signed a long-term
He just
deal.
Hero's off the
Oh,
market.
so these guys are all coming off the board.
Yeah.
Nicholas
It's
Vucevic.
Hey, Spencer.
You're right. This is discouraging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody.
There aren't any
So
good
what are you
game-changing
protecting
free
your
agents.
cap space for?
Yeah.
All right, now let me ask you a harder question.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
This Kyrie thing has really gone south,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Yeah.
You guys are all, you, Bergman, I think Jorge,
We
You
are
guys-
against anti-Semitism.
you are against Kyrie. You don't want Kyrie under any condition.
Right.
What if?
The answer is no.
Yep. Well, hold it because it's
No,
a
I know, I know,
tease,
I
so-
know, I know.
Yeah, mine is the same. But
You
go ahead.
could get him for free.
Okay. We'll do that coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 710.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
that cup. Don't forget tomorrow. The MLS Cup Final coverage begins at noon right here on 710 and the all-new ESPNLA app. We call it a Black and Gold Friday because we're getting pumped for LAFC, yo. That is tomorrow. Right now, more of Mason and Ireland your Friday afternoon on 710.
Put your hands up. We be repping the city. We be repping the city.
Hi, what's up? It is Friday. It's Friday. And then in honor of everybody here who hates this,
It's Friday.
that song got stuck in my head already.
Okay, so Mace, you said something during the break that has been rumbling. Matter of fact, Stephen A. Smith said it this morning.
Right.
On First Take.
What did he say?
That Joe Tsai, the owner of the Nets, and by the way, until today, I did not know Joe Tsai is a part owner of LAFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll go head-to-head with Kevin Durant tomorrow, who is a part owner of Philadelphia
Union, yeah.
But according to Stephen A., Joe Tsai is done with Kyrie. He's had it. The only reason he's dealing with him is because he's under contract.
So why doesn't he waive him?
That's my question.
Potential talk that they're going to.
If they waive him and you can get him for the veterans minimum, this is a 6-time All-Star with obvious baggage, but you could get him for the veterans minimum. In other words, you don't have to send any assets out. It's a free player, like when they got Andre Drummond a couple of years ago. Mace, under those conditions, not having to send out any draft picks, not having to worry about, you don't even have to send Westbrook out. You can just bring him in. Would you do it?
0, 0, 0, no circumstances at all.
So you don't think Kyrie Irving is better than the 15th man on your roster?
I don't think that somebody who has elevated a message that the Holocaust is a fake should be playing on my team.
Did he say he believed that, though? Or he just tagged that stupid
I don't
stuff?
know. Somebody finally wrote an apology for him last night. The
What if he said,
Anti-Defamation League, he tried to offer $500,000. They were like, no thanks, there's not
that was weird.
There.
What if he's during this suspension, somebody talks to him on some platform and says, yes, of course I believe the Holocaust
Do you really think that this is the last thing for Kyrie? First of all, for me, it's the last thing.
Well, he's
right. No. There'll be one of the, you mentioned there are 30 teams in the NBA. Somebody will give him a chance.
Somebody will.
I think he might even play. We play Brooklyn in 2 weeks.
What if he says, yes, I believe the Holocaust happened?
He released that in a written statement that his crisis management team wrote.
What if he says in an interview,
there is no what if, Michael. There is no what if. There's nothing. There's no longer anything. There's nothing he can do or say at this point that'll make anybody, a lot of people, want him on this team whatsoever. I will not be a Laker fan if he comes to this team, and I think I'm not alone in that sentiment. I don't care if you get him for nothing. I don't care if he comes here for free and he actually pays you to be on the team. I don't want him anywhere near this team whatsoever, period,
Greg, what
end
if
of
he
story.
pays you directly?
No, I don't want it.
You
can give me his salary now. I'll say no. No, I can't not
MT,
be bought
had
for
you
my
done what Kyrie did,
believe.
you'd be gone from the station, gone from the Lakers
Right, well, any
instantaneously.
of us would be, but we aren't a 6-time All-Star.
Correct, but in other words, he got off really easy with a 5-game suspension.
Well, wait a minute. We don't know it's only 5.
Right, you're right. The ordinary person would be just gone.
I fear, Michael, that I think Kyrie would, on the court, make the Lakers better, but I fear this sentiment that Mason and Bergman are articulating
Bad PR.
is very real and very prevalent.
Yes.
I wonder if the Lakers, if they wanted to, could do this.
So you guys don't think he'll see him the rest? He's basically like Enes Kanter, just blacklisted now from the NBA.
Somebody will sign him. Somebody with
signed Enes Kanter.
Low moral qualities.
But Enes Kanter's not Kyrie. Enes Kanter's not playing because he's just a guy. Kyrie's a 6-time All-Star who you've called, Michael, the best one-on-one player in the game today. Somebody, I think, would take a chance on him. He really should be.
Don't you think the public relations backlash might be too bad? Like
it
what
will
Bergman
be bad.
Said?
It'd be awful, and you can't excuse who they are as a person just because they have great athletic ability. It's ridiculous.
You know who would take him who doesn't care about PR at all?
Who?
The Nets. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's clear.
They do not care about PR.
All right, let's pivot on that because Dave Denholm, voice of LAFC, is here.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, what's
Dave
up, man?
Denholm. How are you, man? Great to see you. How's everything?
Long time no see, Dave.
Great to be here. You guys sound great.
How are you,
man?
Doing well.
All right,
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. I got a bunch of questions about this game. So, first of all, who's favored? Objectively, you work for LAFC,
yeah.
but if you were a handicapper, who would you favor?
They're actually pretty. Last I checked, they're a pretty heavy betting favorite. LAFC. I think the home field has a lot to do with that because Philadelphia is a great team.
Right.
They were number one in the East all season, fully deserving. They had dominant performances, but LAFC is the favorite.
Because this is the number one seed from the East versus number, and rarely do you see the two number one seeds get all the way, particularly in soccer where anything can happen in a game. The two number one seeds is something.
What is it, best of three?
No, just one game.
It's like a Super Bowl.
This is it.
It is.
Okay.
And Steve's right. It's last happened in 2003.
Oh, so it is rare.
So forgive me, Dave, for not knowing my LAFC history, but have they played in this Cup final before?
No, they won the Western Conference with the best record. Actually had the Supporter Shield, which is the best regular season record.
And then lost to
in
Seattle,
2019,
right?
But then we got dumped out of the playoffs. So this is the farthest they've gone, yes.
And how many teams are in this league?
28 now, and then next year Seattle or St. Louis comes in, number 29. So they're going to expand probably to 32.
It's very comparable to the NFL.
Yeah, they're going to go to 32 eventually, yeah.
So you, Dave Denall, we've played your highlight. You've come into your own, man. You have come into your own. Your broadcasts are fantastic.
Thank you.
Hear them on the station. And it's funny, we've worked together a long time. You've always been a soccer guy. Like, this was always your thing.
This is kind of a cool story. You were a soccer fan the day I met you, before LAFC existed. So you've got to. I mean, you're like me with the Lakers. You've got to feel pretty fortunate.
I do. Oh,
yeah.
I totally look up to you. I had no question because of that. You know, it's just it's a dream job. You know, I told everybody I came to LA when I was 28 to do sports talk radio, and I thought that was my dream job.
Yeah.
And then I got my dream job when I was 48. In LA,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know,
it's
take your time.
fantastic.
Sometimes it takes a while,
Yeah.
but you know, like, and I mean, I love my career. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy, but yeah, I just can't say enough about what LAFC's done.
So I am no soccer expert at all. I go to a couple of games a year. I was there this year. I met Larry, the big owner.
Larry Berg, yeah.
Yeah, Larry Berg, great guy. I've seen him twice this year. Super cool guy. And apparently has a couple of bucks.
He's not hurting.
Yeah, he's not hurting.
But
fine.
Dave,
He's
this is
doing fine.
I was telling the story earlier. This is a star-studded ownership group. Like Joe Tsai, the owner of the Nets, actually has part ownership of the LAFC, and Kevin Durant actually has part ownership of the Philadelphia. Who is Will Ferrell still part of the ownership group?
Yes, Will is part of the LAFC.
Is Colin Cowherd still part of the ownership group?
You know, that's a good one.
Nomar, Mia,
Nomar and Mia are still.
Yeah.
There's been a few people who have cashed out.
Okay.
Like on smaller, you know, some because there are many owners, as you said, to get Peter Goober.
Yeah,
he's been around. Peter's been celebrating this week. He's
Right.
been around, so it's
One of my life highlights was being the honorary
I remember
Falconer
it very
at
well, yeah.
Bank of California
I was
Stadium.
so proud of you, man. I couldn't be down there. Of course, I was up, broadcasting
I was so
it.
thrilled. I was so
That's
thrilled by
awesome,
that
man.
whole experience. And the 3252 is like the most amazing group
Well,
of fans.
explain what that is. So people, Dave, I'll have you explain it.
Sure.
What is the 3252?
That's the name of like the diehard supporters group. You know, soccer teams, they all have that group that's just, they don't sit down. But it's 3252 because that's how many people fit in that section. There were supposed to be seats. There are no. They don't sit. So it's 3,252 of them in that stadium of 22,000 actually, closer to sellouts. And they've been sold out every game. You know, it's just and the 3252 just drives the action. You know, sometimes I'll just during the broadcast just say, "Hey, listen," and just let Mike Dooley, our crack engineer, just turn it up a little for
Right.
me.
Yeah,
you know,
they just go.
Do they let them light flares like they do in Europe, soccer?
We've had a couple.
Really?
You're really not supposed
Okay,
to.
right.
Let's be
There's a
honest,
lot of
so.
smoke that comes
There's
out of
smoke.
there.
It's
Yeah,
not
a lot of
flares.
smoke.
Flares are not a good idea. They
Yeah.
try to ban those throughout the world. But yeah,
Dave, is Carlos Vela still the best player in LAFC?
I mean, yes, he is. He's the star, and
Right.
he's 33. He had a good year, and yet still led the league in game-winning goals and game-winning assists combined by plenty. So he's still very but we have so much talent.
Yeah, what makes him good? In other words, it sounds like he's a clutch player.
Yeah,
He
that's a great
scores
question. Look, there are a lot of great athletes that play, soccer, football, and a lot of great athletes in MLS. It's just the slightest movements. It's that playing a little bit faster, John. You guys know better than I do, Michael. Sports at the professional level is all about speed of play. How fast can you think it? How fast can you do it? I mean, because I can think it, I can't do it. And Carlos Vela is just that little bit ahead of everybody with that one touch. He knows where he's putting the ball better, just a little bit better than everybody, but it adds up to he's just dominant, and he's just such a great player, and he's a superstar that actually delivers.
You know what bothers me about soccer and people like Mason and Ireland?
If I beg you, will you tell me?
About us? What do you mean about us?
I hear this all the time. I argue about this with Mike Trudell,
When was
too.
the last time you were at an LAFC game, dude?
Oh, Michael's a real fan.
I watch it. I've never gone because I don't like the traffic. I wouldn't go to a Laker game if I didn't have to work there because of traffic.
That's right. He wouldn't leave his house if he didn't have
but,
to.
I didn't go to Dodger games this year. It's too much traffic. But what bothers me about soccer and soccer players in this country is when people like Ireland and Mason say, well, the best athletes in America don't play soccer. That drives me nuts. Do they not realize how good these guys are?
No, I'll take it further. They say the question you hear is, what if America's best athletes played
what
soccer?
What if LeBron played soccer?
Well, no, but here's my answer. They already do.
Right, that's what I say. These guys are great athletes.
And I don't mean this with any disrespect. LeBron James would be a magnificent NFL player. He'd be a terrible soccer player in all likelihood.
Or a Russell Westbrook or something.
Yeah, no disrespect. I mean, it's just a whole different skill set. It's so different. I mean,
they don't get enough respect. Dave.
Kobe loved soccer. You know that, John.
Kobe and Nash was their favorite sport.
I had many good conversations with Kobe about soccer. He wouldn't have been any good. He played it to a certain level, and
when you look at
and he loved it.
When you look at the NFL players, baseball, basketball, do you equate MLS players with the same athletic ability?
Well, I equate soccer players or football players in Europe as
but not
tremendous athletes.
But not here.
Well,
why?
I mean,
what's the difference?
Look, Dave.
Landon Donovan of Galaxy fame, of course. He's one of the best athletes really in sports history. Just by they do those tests and everything, he was far surpassing other sports.
Why do you think that makes?
Why are you putting words into my mouth? I've
Because,
never said any of the stuff that you're saying.
I've heard it too much time.
You've never heard me say it. I've never said that ever in history. And you're saying Mason and Ireland say this.
Yeah.
What? You don't. We've never said it.
I will say this. Like you mentioned Landon Donovan. I don't know if Landon Donovan had the physical size to play football, basketball.
No.
But in soccer, he's incredibly Lionel Messi is incredibly dangerous.
He's very small.
So it has something to do with your
soccer players are great athletes. They're top
Dave,
athletes in America.
You're
Dave,
me.
what type of a game plays into the LAFC game plan? In other words, if it's high scoring and they're scoring goals early, is that what we want, or do we want it low scoring? What type of game? If they can dictate the game, what would they want?
One of the things I like about Steve Cherundolo is he makes those in-game adjustments. So it is a matter of what's working, but what they like to do, LAFC is always going to be a team that scores goals. They would like to win, 3-1.
Right.
That's fine. But they are willing to defend under Steve. That maybe at times previously, Bob Bradley was a great manager, but we kind of had those defensive lapses that just kill you. Big mistakes, and it just, because they were pushing forward so often, they wanted to win 5-3 and 5. But Steve Cherundolo, a former U.S. men's national team defender, still has that kind of, we can defend, let's do that. But also, let's win 3-0.
Yeah, right.
And that's
Which
fine,
was the score of the Austin game.
That happened to be the score of the Austin game. Yeah.
Dave Downholm, the Vince Scully of the LAFC.
Oh, stop.
Let me ask you a question.
Don't you dare.
Let me ask you a question. I love soccer, but what drives me crazy about soccer is offsides. Why can't they modify it so we can increase more scoring and have more to me, there's nothing more exciting in sports than watching a great goal in soccer. But all the time, a great goal will happen. That stupid flag would go up because a guy's a half an inch behind the defense.
I mean,
I don't disagree with Michael on this, Dave. Yeah.
My only answer is you want great goals, but if it's 11-8 every game, are they all great goals?
Yes! It's fun!
I mean, if you get 24 of them a game...
Although, I'll tell you what. Score first is like my favorite thing inside. Score
Fair
first.
enough.
It feels better. I hate being behind.
Yeah, it's
in
a massive
soccer game.
advantage.
Yeah,
and it bears out in the statistics. You're 100% right. But Michael, look, I mean, everybody talks about it. No offside. It would be just a clown show.
Just modify it or
after
something.
a while. If you don't have that rule,
but modify it or something.
They've tried to give the offense a little more advantage, with like if you're even, you're on. That's what the phrase.
Right.
Because before it was like even if it was close, it was an offside.
You're right, exactly.
So they have done some things that way, but yeah, I think it's just the kind of game where it's passionate. So a goal matters.
Yeah.
I mean, one bucket in basketball, it can matter. Certainly, it could be the difference between winning and losing, but it's a different sport. It's football. Yeah, you're usually not going to score one touchdown to win a game. I get it, but. Well, goal matters in this sport. It's 90 minutes, Michael. That should fit you.
One last question. Are you going to Qatar for the World Cup?
I am not going, but right here, thank you for the opportunity. 710 ESPN. I'll be doing a daily show for the World Cup coming up.
Nice. That's great, man. That's great.
We've just thank you for the opening to announce that, actually. I haven't even talked about that. I did a little bit on social media, but yeah, we're going to have a daily show mostly Monday through Friday, some big weekend days that are during the World Cup.
Nice.
which
Will
we
you
all
tell
know
these
is
two
coming up.
clowns who
Again,
don't understand,
Michael,
it is the greatest
Steve's
sport.
a fan.
Tell him.
We love John, but I can appreciate it. He doesn't really care about the sport. That's fine.
It is the
That's,
greatest
it's a
sporting
big world
event
we
on
live
the
in,
planet.
Oh, the
World Cup soccer.
Oh, I'm
Steve's
all
a big
in on the World
fan.
Cup.
Yeah, I fully appreciate
Right.
the fandom of Steve Mason.
Hey, Dave, listen, have a great call tomorrow.
Thank you.
It's Black and Gold Friday here in 710 ESPN.
You guys look great.
We are all in on this, and thanks for coming in, and have a blast tomorrow.
Fellas, great to see you again, too.
Yeah.
Have fun tomorrow,
great.
Dave.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Dave
What's
Denholm,
what's LAFC's nickname?
the Black and Gold.
Black and gold.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's not pretty creative.
Well, we'll come up with something better.
How about the Falcons? They got a Falcon, right?
They do have a Falcon.
The
They were,
LAFC
trying to
Falcons.
they were trying to do the wings thing right from the beginning. From the beginning, if you see the hat that
Yeah.
Steve's
Oh,
wearing,
yeah, right.
they do have the wings on there.
LA Wings.
But a good nickname just kind of has to stick.
Yeah.
If you're LAFC, it just has to happen naturally.
Right,
So
exactly. All right, Dave, have a blast tomorrow. I get to be there. I'm really psyched. Coming up next for you is Bobcat. Bergman's going to throw a bunch of stuff at us. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right. If you are hiring for your business, there's one solution that's been advancing technology for years, and that's ZipRecruiter. Right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. When you post a job on ZipRecruiter, it gets sent out to over 100 top job sites. Then, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies people with the right skills and experience and invites them to apply to your job. It's a great formula. 83% of people who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. Or as my buddy Ian Siegel, who invented ZipRecruiter, says, we don't leave anything to chance. So if you want to step up your hiring game, give ZipRecruiter a shot. You got nothing to lose because right now it's free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. What are you waiting for? Go to ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest.
Get his new Instagram.
Corporate Greg.
That's right. The other one got hacked. So the new one is corporate_Greg. Follow now, follow often.
Corporate Greg.
But now it is time for that Bobcat.
Bobcat.
It's time for Bobcat.
Bobcat.
Bobcat time. Take it away, Corporate Greg.
Corporate Greg.
Thank you very much, Chris and Amanda. And so what we like to do on these days is just kind of go through your list here because it's Friday and we're going to
it's leftovers day.
So you have on here Reese Hoskins, and I think this was actually a John story.
Yep.
Reese Hoskins' wife keeps buying 50 beers for the fans in the stands at Phillies home games. It costs her $600 every time she does it. What do you think about that, John?
I love it, especially after they won Game 3.
That's right.
And then she said, well, I'll just keep doing it for the rest of the home games. But good for her. I think that endears you to the fans. The fans in Philly hate everything and everybody. So if you can win them over by buying them beer, why not? More power to you.
So, Bergman, you and me, and I don't know who else, Jorge, are you going to go to SC UCLA?
No.
Hey, we're going. When we do that, I want to promote exactly where we are in the stadium, and I won't do 60. I'll do 20 beers. I will do 20 beers.
20
for
beers.
people that come to us.
Okay, then
Yes.
sign me up.
Jorge's here.
He's going to drink all 20.
Yeah, all 20 for him. Yeah, but it's very cool that she's doing it. I think now, from what I read, the Astros are going to win the World Series, so they're up 3-2, which sucks. But Philly gave it a good run, and good for Mrs. Hoskins.
All right, I need to hit the Bobcat button, don't I?
Yeah.
By the way, did you
Bobcat.
guys? Oops.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Okay. Okay. So the next thing that's on here. So Mason, you said that you saw something about the. I'm trying to find the story now, but the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
Tell me about the Loch Ness Monster.
Okay, so the Loch Ness Monster, which it's not lie of the day, so I can tell you this. My very first trip to Europe, I went to Scotland, and I went to Loch Ness because I've always been fascinated by the Loch Ness Monster. Now,
it's not there.
Who says that? It's a plesiosaurus.
Please.
Yeah, it's a plesiosaurus.
They dragged that lake with all kind of sonar equipment. I ain't seen nothing but fish down there.
So here's
sucker.
Here's what there's a really famous.
Let's go see Bigfoot.
There's a famous photo of the Loch Ness
that's
Monster.
a little toy. That's a toy duck in the water.
Okay. Now a lady has
Guy
come out.
holding it up.
Yeah.
A lady has come out. Her name is Nessie. Her name is Sue Keogh of Perth, Australia. She says that her dad used to make a shadow puppet exactly like that, and that picture is a shadow puppet and not the real Loch Ness Monster.
I'm with the Australian woman. You guys are all suckers.
Base.
You don't. Oh, I believe in the Loch Ness Monster.
They've dragged that lake with sonar equipment.
You know what? It's very, very murky. That's
but that's just it. That's the image.
Hundreds of feet deep.
If that thing was as big as they said was, the image would show up on sonar.
Why do you think?
I found sound from the Loch Ness Monster.
It's Friday.
Yeah, Michael.
I would like to believe, but no, because I love dinosaurs, to see some kind of reptile like that. But
I believe.
Don't you think there'd be more sightings if there was a one there?
There have been 20 sightings so far this year.
Don't you think one of them would have died and the carcass would float to the surface like a whale does?
They may sink. They may sink to the bottom of the loch. The loch is very deep. Lochs are super deep.
Wow.
How deep is the loch?
The loch is about 1,000 feet.
That's it. Bobcat.
All right, Jorge.
I'm tired of that.
Okay, so this is the one. This is the one that you skipped earlier. So it's Kelly Acosta, a midfielder from the LAFC, was in the middle of a press conference yesterday. He was confused from a from a player from the other team.
Yeah, the key here is he plays for the LAFC. He plays for us. And some guy at the press conference asked this question.
First off, how exciting is it to be in Philly right now? The Phillies are in the World Series, the Eagles are undefeated, and you guys are playing for the MLS Cup. Has it sunk in? And secondly, how does a game like this help you to even be looked at for the upcoming World Cup? Thank you and congratulations.
Yeah, just playing against a Philadelphia team, you're saying?
The excitement right now in Philadelphia, you got the Phillies in the World Series.
This guy clearly thinks he plays in Philly.
Are playing for the championship as well.
I would go along with it.
I don't play for Philly.
That was great. He should have gone along with it.
I don't play.
He should have played along with it.
Philly. I love that.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so I don't like the Eagles. So I know that they're undefeated. But shout out to the Eagles, I guess. The Phillies are in the World Series, so congratulations. And yeah, we're playing against the Union. But yeah, we're here in LA. LA is home, and we're hoping to have a good result on the weekend.
Is there a question?
Yeah,
Jorge,
so how do you think he handled that? And have you guys ever been around a reporter like that?
I have been that reporter.
Oh, wow. What happened?
You've like a case of mistaken identity kind of thing?
Completely mistaken identity. So at the 2016 Olympics in Rio, there were two groups. They had the women's basketball had won the gold medal. It was a great celebration, all that stuff. And I was supposed to interview two groups of women from the U.S. women's basketball team. So one was like Sue Bird and a group led by that. The other one was Maya Moore and a group led by that. So I mistook. We were right in the middle of the gold medal soccer match, and Neymar had his penalty kick to win the gold medal. And I didn't notice who came in. And so I introduced Sue Bird as Maya Moore. Because I didn't look up and I didn't see who it was. It was the most horrifying experience of my life. Yeah. I was so... because I was only half paying attention.
Did Sue play along with it?
No, Sue said, "Are we being pranked? Are there cameras here?" She thought she was being pranked. No, it was an awful experience. Ireland, do you ever have one like that?
I can't think of one. I'm sure I have, where I've screwed it up and asked somebody a ridiculously stupid question. Nothing comes to mind. That's about as bad as I've ever heard, though, the one you just played.
We know a guy. Can I tell this story?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
We know a guy who was once on the radio somewhere.
It's Friday.
Who there was somebody as a guest who was wearing and always wears a toupee. And this person who was hosting the show said, "Hey, I really like your hair. How do you keep it so neat?"
No, you can absolutely tell the story. This was Ben.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you were gone.
Yeah, okay, I was trying to protect names.
Yeah, no, Ben was here, and there's a person in the industry, it's well known that this person wears a toupee.
Yes.
And
I remember this.
And Ben starts going in on, "Hey, man, let me ask you about your hair. Your hair is always perfect. I don't know how you do it. Like, no matter when you... Or like it's outside, it's windy. I mean, you're inside the studio. It always looks like what's your secret?" And I am waving hysterically at Ben, trying to wave him off.
Different line of questioning.
And Ben's like, "What? And he handled it. The guy handled it.
Yeah, he
well.
handled it really well.
And we go to a break, and I went, "The guy wears a rug," and Ben goes, "No."
Well, it's a good rug. How can you tell?
No, it's very solid. Yeah. It's a very solid rug.
Can we give his initials?
No.
No.
That would be really cruel.
Still works for the company.
He does.
He
does.
Is he black or white?
I'll write it down. I'll write it down for you.
About it. Don't write it down for Michael. He'll say it.
That's true. I'll tell you.
He'll just read it on the air.
Bobcat.
All right, that'll do it. No, that was... Well, we went long with Dave.
It was a very mini Bobcat session there.
Friday.
Well, it's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. That's true. All right, coming up next for you, let's see what's next.
Is it that loud, Mace? Can you really hear it that loud?
It is.
I had one of those going on in my house a couple of weeks ago. One of the smoke detectors was beeping like that for a couple of days, and we couldn't find it. I was driving me nuts.
When that happens to me, I'm so anal about stuff like that. I change all the batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't figure out which one it is. I'm going to the store, I'm buying 10 batteries, and I'm going to change them all.
Yeah,
and I always buy those lithium batteries that are supposed to last forever, and sure enough, 2 years later, I'm back in the same boat.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
That is the worst.
Okay.
Poor Mace.
Okay. All right, coming up next for you, who has got the NFL's most punchable face? Plus, we've got our grand prize winner in our Terranea Resort contest this week. We'll tell you who that is coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 7.
Los Angeles sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason in Ireland is on for your Friday afternoon.
You know, Juan calls me Pigpen.
Yes, indeed, it is an F-It Friday, but more important today, it is a Black and Gold Friday as we get you pumped for tomorrow. Kickoff at 1 p.m. at Baker California Stadium. LAFC, the Black and Gold, go for the MLS Cup against Philadelphia Union. You can watch the match on Fox or Univision, and you can hear all the coverage beginning at 12 p.m. tomorrow on the home of LAFC right here, 710 ESPN. Or, of course, on the new ESPNLA app. We get you pumped all day long. Plus, don't forget tonight, Lakers basketball. Lakers Jazz. Lakers going for 3 wins in a row. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Slee. And John Ireland and Michael Thompson have your play-by-play at 7:30 p.m. Plus the Rams on Sunday. Let's get to it. Mason and Ireland, a Black and Gold Friday afternoon right now.
3 o'clock crowd. What's up, people? Just screwing around today. A lot going on. It's Friday. All right. So, yeah, I've got my neighbor, his battery's out in the smoke alarm, and I keep hearing that.
Sneak in and let Julio be on the lookout for you.
Yeah, it's Juan and no.
Juan with an H.
It's not Juan, but that's another story.
It is Juan. All right, let's see. Here we go. We have been giving away all week long people qualifying to win a really cool prize package from Terranea Resort and Spa. And we've got the grand prize winner. It is James Ebernis. James, you
are about to embark on this will change the way you think of Southern California. Terranea is, I was thinking about this. So there are a handful of people. Mason and I do a lot of ads.
Yeah.
There are a handful of people that, and there's not very many of them, that Mason and I are like loyal customers of. Like John Patterson is a great guy.
We have 2 cars from John Patterson.
John, you would send your parents to go get a car.
Jacob and Ronnie, people call me, send them to Jacob.
Isaac and Roy at Mir.
Yep.
Those guys, like every TV I own is Mir. That's Terranea is in that fold. I know Ralph Grippo and Agnello Fernandez, the guys who run that place, and they're the best. They've worked all over the world, both of them. And they're in hotel resort management, and this place is the gold standard. If you've never been to Terranea, do yourself a favor and go. I'll say it in one sentence. It's like going to Hawaii without getting on a plane.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
So we will let James know and let you guys know that he has won a luxury oceanfront getaway to Terranea Resort, 2-night stay in an ocean view suite, a Lexus LC to drive for the weekend, golf at the Links, dinner at Catalina Kitchen, and then limo service to Crypto.com Arena for a night of basketball. All that stuff goes to James Ebernis. Congratulations, and thank you very much for listening.
Michael, this is your kind of place. They have a spa, they have a golf course, and they have 4 restaurants on site that are all different kinds of food, so you never have to leave.
So when you go there, you stay there?
I go there, I park my car, I don't see my car again until I leave, no matter how many days ahead is that.
Do the rooms have balconies?
Yes.
Good. You got to have a balcony.
Got to have a balcony.
So I can sit outside and smoke
and
my
someday
cigar.
I'll get a hookup and go there.
Yeah, you won't regret it. It's unbelievable.
I'm hinting. I would like a hookup to go there.
Well, Matt is
right
Matt. There.
Oh yeah, Matt.
I mean, he talks to him every day.
The star of the 7-10 All-Star softball game. Hit a big home run and made a couple of good catches.
Michael, there's a picture of Lisa and I out on our balcony at Terranea.
5 different restaurants in the place?
4.
4?
The Catalina Kitchen, where you get which was part of the prize package.
Nice.
Yep.
There's a place called Marcel that's high-end, really, really good. You'd eat there for sure. There's a place called Bashi that is like sushi. Yeah. And the place Mason would like the best is Nelson's, which is casual, right on the water, named Nelson's because Lloyd Bridges used to be on a TV show called Sea Hunt.
Yeah.
They filmed it there. This is on the Terranea is at the site of the old Marine Land. Mike Nelson was his name.
Mike Nelson.
And so they named this restaurant Nelson's, and there's a whole bunch of pictures of Lloyd Bridges in diving gear on the walls at Nelson's. So it's really, really fun. Go there if you've never been.
Okay. So thanks very much to everybody at Terranea for that, and James Ebernis is going to have a great time. All right. So a story in The Defector, John, you found this. The most punchable, I guess it's only head coaches.
Yeah, so take the 32 head coaches in the NFL. And who has the most punchable face? Who, when you see him, do you just say, "Oh God, I'd love to punch that guy in the face"?
Everybody would.
Who is it, Michael? It's one guy was a runaway winner. Who was it?
It's got to be Kyle Shanahan.
Nope.
Nope.
But that's not a bad guess.
He is on the list.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Then
guess.
the
He's
other
never
guy,
happy.
I'm gonna guess. I'll guess 3 times.
Let me just read what it says about Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
And this is funny. MFer looks like every a-hole in college who stole a hookup out from underneath me is the only person alive who can't see his own smugness. That's what they say about
Michael,
Kyle
I will
Shanahan.
say this. When I say the name, if you don't get it first, you'll go, of course.
Well, I mean, you think, obviously, of Bill Belichick.
Okay.
No, what's it say about Belichick, Mace?
Scouting report. Courts the vengeance of the world with every word he utters and every moment of story silence he gives you for daring to ask him any question.
Yeah.
Payback time, you old man from Nantucket. The only thing... and it goes on.
Then my third guess has got to be...
Last guess. Make it a good one.
He exasperates me. He's always got that exasperated, dumb look on his face like, what just happened? John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh.
No, John Harbaugh.
I don't even think he's in the top 10.
He should be.
The runaway winner of this particular
Wait, let
game.
me guess. Is he black or white?
He's white.
That's, by
AFC
the
or
way, we're
NFC?
talking about head coaches.
NFC.
So likely to be
NFC
white,
head
yeah.
coach.
He's on national TV a lot.
Oh, Mike McCarthy.
There you go.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy.
Really?
Yeah, Mike
Why him?
McCarthy. Because now he's always sourpuss. He's never happy. So-
Okay, so let me read you what they said.
And they're good. And the Cowboys are good.
Okay, here you go. Scouting report. You know who'd win this little derby? It's Beeve, the guy who looks like both the bully and the victim all in one. I effing hate this man's face and want it destroyed. We all do. Stick a bit in his mouth, hop on his back, dig my spurs into his love handles, and ride him like a wild stallion. Giddy up, blank bag.
And by the way, don't cancel us. This is all in fun.
I'm reading an article from the Defector.
Yeah, we're not suggesting you punch anyone.
No, don't punch anybody.
In the face.
Don't punch anybody.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a story we did.
Yeah.
Nobody said Mike Tomlin, huh?
Mike Tomlin on the list. Mike Tomlin is
seems like a very nice man.
Well, he's relentlessly.
Plus, I wouldn't want to punch him.
Yeah,
because
and
he'd
plus
kick your butt.
he's like relentlessly positive. Like
Yeah.
the Steelers could be down 39-3, and he'd go, "You think we're not winning this game? We're winning this game."
Okay, so John, I've got a list of and Michael, you too, the most valuable professional sports franchises
in the world,
among North American team sports.
Well, that's easy.
Okay, number one is the Cowboys.
Nope.
What do you think number
Isn't
one
it
is?
the number one, the Warriors? $7.7 billion?
I think the Cowboys would sell for more than $7 billion.
Well,
This is all according to Forbes.
Yeah, they would sell for more, but they're talking about the value out
The
of it.
Cowboys, $8 billion.
Oh, 8, okay.
And the Warriors, according to Forbes, $5.6 billion.
I thought it was up to
Where
7.
are the Yankees?
The Yankees are number 4 at $6 billion.
Where are the Lakers?
The Lakers are at number 10 at $5.5 billion. I think they're undervalued there.
Yeah. All right, so I'm trying to think of, Michael, who I knew the Cowboys would be there.
Cowboys are number 1.
We've got to think. No, we've got to.
You're missing 2, 3.
Let's see if we can get the other ones in the top 5.
Okay, the Rams with the
No.
stadium.
Hold on.
I would listen to Michael.
All right, what number?
Number
are they?
3,
Yeah,
$6.2 billion.
Because of the SoFi.
Okay.
Because of SoFi Stadium.
So what about New York Football Giants? They don't
own their stadium though. That's the thing.
I think they do.
I
No,
think
they
you
don't.
should listen to John. $6 billion there, number 5.
I didn't know they owned the stadium.
Yeah, they do. But who's number 2?
Patriots.
Bingo, you got it.
Nice.
Yeah, $6.4 billion. So the list goes this way: Cowboys $8 billion, Patriots $6.4, Rams $6.2, Yankees $6, Giants $6, Knicks $5.8 because they've got the network.
Haven't won in 30 years.
I know.
New York.
The Bears $5.8 billion, the Warriors $5.6 billion. The Commanders $5.6 billion, which surprises me, and then the Lakers at $5.5 billion.
So only one baseball team. The Yankees.
Yeah, only the Yankees.
Where are the Dodgers?
Dodgers not there.
Wow.
Yeah, Dodgers. Most valuable baseball team is the Yankees at $6 billion.
Dodgers got to be number 2. Got to be.
Yeah, I don't have that. I have the list as all time most.
So $8 billion for the Cowboys. That
$8
might be
billion.
that might be up there with Real Madrid and FC Barcelona.
Very well could be. Very well
and,
could be.
Man U.
All right, coming up next for you. Just think about this. Don't answer. Where was your peak health At what age did you have your peak? Don't answer.
Can I show you?
Michael, show you his picture.
At what age does the average person reach their peak health? That's coming up next for you as we go through the leftovers on It Friday. And on a black and gold Friday, getting ready for the MLS championship game tomorrow at Bank of California Stadium, Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
The Cup tomorrow. The MLS Cup Final, LAFC versus Philadelphia Union. Coverage begins at 12 p.m. tomorrow, right here on 710 and the all-new ESPNLA app. Kickoff from the Bank at 1 p.m. Let's go LAFC. Right now, though, more of Mason in Ireland. Your Friday afternoon on 710.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Hey!
By the way, I got people now emailing me and texting me with suggestions of what your Grubhub password might be.
Yeah, on the
yesterday, Steve Clarkson, the quarterback guru, suggested "Fight On," which is not it.
This has something to do with sports.
Is that your question? Is that your yes or no question?
No, just I thought I didn't know.
So here's what I've asked about so far. So if you don't know this bit, I have an indescribable desire to use Grubhub all the time, to have food delivered,
especially
pizza,
to order late night donuts and things that aren't
like
good for you.
So I said,
so wait, should we pay off your teas? Like, what age were you at your best health? You're like the opposite now. You just get donuts.
I'm sort of past that. Okay, let's pay off the teas and then we'll do the Grubhub password.
Okay.
All right. So at what age do you think you were at your peak health?
This is easy for me.
Okay.
25.
Why?
25.
Because I used to, Michael, pick up basketball every morning, play golf 3 times a week,
right,
and go out every night until like 2 in the morning, and then lather,
when you were
rinse,
25.
repeat. When I was 25, living in San Diego.
Okay.
And I just felt invincible. Now, if I do any of those things, I need a day to recover.
Okay, MT?
Well, I have proof here and another picture.
How old are you in this?
32 years of age.
And that's one of the Lakers championship
Lakers
parades?
Championship parade. They made me take my shirt off.
Yeah, because he looked pretty good.
Showed the Mace.
All right, well,
check it out, Mace.
Oh yeah, I see. Wow, yeah.
You're like Mr. Olympia.
32 years of age in the best shape of my life.
Okay, Bergman, what was your peak health?
So it'd be about 2015, 7 years ago. So it was 32.
32.
I played basketball twice a week. I was doing hot yoga. Had a 6-pack. Wish I still had that. But yeah, no, by far the best shape I've ever been in my life.
Jorge?
Yeah, I was 26. That would be, 9 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah, I played soccer maybe 3 times a week. Would work out, would do P90X or whatever it was.
Now, if you do any of those things, what do you feel like the next day?
I need to get in a bath full of ice.
Yeah. So, I have a massage chair, I have a Theragun, I have the Power Dot. I like everything about everything I buy is recovery.
What is a Power Dot?
I've never told you guys about this.
No, what's a Power Dot?
Okay, Power Dot is awesome. Okay, it's made by Therabody, the same people that makes this Theragun. But so Google it. Do Google Power Dot.
I'm just going to Amazon.
Okay, so
I'm getting it. I don't know what the problem is.
If you're Borgman, are you sore anywhere right now?
Right below my neck.
All right, so the Power Dot,
shoulders.
You put this thing on.
Okay.
You control it with your phone, and it provides direct massage, electronic stim to the exact spot.
This is an electronic stim thing.
Yeah, and you can put it anywhere, and you can control the.
Sounds kinky.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it does. Actually, it doesn't sound kinky. I don't know what's going on in your head.
I was playing golf, and I was playing too much golf, and my hips were sore. And my hips get sore. I'll do a visual for you guys. When my hips get sore, it's right below my belt line.
Okay.
Like right in here.
Right.
So I'm at a party.
Yep.
And Cody, who's my son-in-law, he's married to my niece. He's a cop in Idaho. Goes, I'm complaining. He goes, you golfing tomorrow? And I went, yeah, I'm kind of sore. I may take a day off. He goes, well, I'll give you my Power Dot. And I said, what's that? And he brings it into the kitchen. So there's like 30 people at this thing. And I'm taking off my pants and putting the Power Dot on.
And right there are these little pads like you would see. Yeah.
And this thing is unbelievable. And Lisa is horrified. She comes over. She goes, you're at a party with your pants off. I go, you got to see this thing. It's the greatest. Blah, blah, blah. But the Power Dot is awesome. Yeah. I mean, they're pricey, but they're good.
So according to a new poll of 2,000 Americans, and it includes members of Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, and Boomers, respondents believe they were at their peak health at the age of 34.
That's about Bergman.
Yeah.
32. Well, I'm 39
And Michael,
now.
you were 32, right?
33, 34.
I was probably 35 because I was doing yoga every single day and doing
when
really
were you
tough
teaching yoga?
In
How old were you?
2000. I was 35 years old when I was teaching yoga.
You could teach yoga? You know yoga?
Yeah, I was certified to teach yoga. I used to teach 11 classes a week, believe it or not. So that was probably my peak.
You were the hot, sexy yoga teacher.
I was very hot and very sexy, Michael. Thank you.
A lot of MILFs were after you.
If they only knew.
So, Michael, when did you first start feeling old?
Oh, that's a great question. Even in my 40s, I felt pretty good. So I was playing a lot of tennis, so staying active, playing a lot of tennis to stay in shape. Probably when I hurt my hip and I realized, I need a hip replacement. I couldn't be as active. So
How
in my
old were you?
early 50s.
Early 50s.
Now, do you, Michael? Most people who've had hip replacements say they wish they would have done it 10 years sooner. Were you the same way?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, Juan's mom had both hips replaced, and she's doing great. She's doing great. What about you, Ireland? When did you first start? If you do, when did you first start feeling?
Well, I have the maturity of a 10-year-old.
Correct.
So I've never really felt old,
but physically.
When I stopped playing pickup basketball, I stopped because I used to play. First, I was playing 4 times a week.
Yep.
And I said, I'm kind of sore, so I'm going to cut it down. I'll do it 2 times a week.
Yep.
Then Tuesday nights, just play on Tuesday nights. Played on Tuesday nights, and some of my friends still play in the same game. Played on Tuesday. McMenamin plays in that game.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday nights for 10, 12 years, and when I was 45, I gave it up. So I guess 45
that was
would be
the barrier?
answer to your question.
Yeah. I think mine was 51. 50, because when I was 50, I was in that Celebrity Grand Prix race, and I was at like a historically low weight, and really was really worked out, and was really excited for that race. And the year after that, actually, I had my 51st birthday party. That was the one where I brought the cake out. Happy birthday to me.
And I think I may have said thank you for coming as I was leaving your house.
I think it's all been downhill since my 51st birthday.
But there's an interesting thing about that Long Beach Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So in that Grand Prix was your friend Donna Feldman.
Donna Feldman, supermodel Donna Feldman.
Who is one of the best looking people you'll ever see in person.
And by
if
the
you
way,
guys have never seen Donna, Google her.
And one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet.
Like, super attractive. I think if you hang around people like that, that are so ridiculously good looking, you take better
feel
care
better about yourself.
No, you feel worse.
Oh.
You take like that donut. If you're hanging around, if you're looking at Donna, and you're thinking about having that donut, she is actually so good looking that it's a deterrent from the donut.
Right.
It's like, well, that's going right to my love handle.
Yeah, sure.
I think if I'm ever going to impress somebody like that, I better not. So it helps if you have really good-looking people around.
Hey, Bergman, do you feel old, or when did you start feeling old?
I don't feel old yet. I mean, except for when Riley...
You look old.
Thank you. I think so, too. But I do not feel old yet. Look. I think I can still hang. I can go out till like 2 o'clock in the morning if I need to.
Although, Bergman, I will say this about you. Yeah. You could, particularly if you shaved your beard, you could play yourself in high school. Like
if I shave my beard, for sure.
We couldn't do that. Like, we couldn't. If they were doing the John Ireland story, they'd have to get an actor to play high school John Ireland or high school Steve Mason. I think you could do it.
Yeah, no, if I shave my beard, I look 70.
I would say that to Amanda. Amanda could do that. Amanda's got a youthful...
Oh, she doesn't have a beard, though.
Yeah. Well, I hope not.
I'll tell you something about that.
That's for you, Amanda.
That's for you. Tell you something about that Grand Prix I was in. So...
Did you come last?
I came in
Human
16th
Pylon was
out
his
of
name.
18.
And the 2 guys that finished behind him both wrecked.
Willie Galt and Omar Epps.
He's the guy, they were cleaning up and breaking down the stands, and Mason rolled across at like 9 o'clock at night.
So I show up at this thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a really good driver. And they say...
You need to be a bad driver to win that thing.
You need to drive stick. I had never driven
I didn't know
stick
that.
before.
Wow. Okay.
So I was like friggin' terrified. And then we trained. We had 2 big training sessions out in Palmdale where there's a track. And at the second one, they showed us video of what the race is going to look like. And afterwards, I called one. And I said, I can't do it. I cannot do it.
I did the same thing. I was in a celebrity go-kart event, and Alfonso Ribeiro and Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy were both in it. And I realized I was in the first heat with them.
Yep.
And I actually had inside position on both of them.
Yep.
And they put me in the wall 10 seconds in and just said, you could tell they had zero fear.
Yep.
They were only worried about the other one.
Yes.
Everybody else was just in the way.
Yeah.
And so those guys played,
I
there's
went
a different mentality.
I went into freak out mode. I was like, all right, let's do the Grubhub password.
All right. So the story is Mason can't control himself. So he said, I'm going to change my Grubhub password to something that I'll never remember. I said, let's do one better. Give your computer to me.
Right.
And I will change your Grubhub password.
Yes.
Which I did, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago now?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
And I've given every show we've done since then, I've given Mason one yes or no question and a guess. He hasn't figured it out yet.
So here are the things I've asked. Here are the things
today I'm going to give Mason and Michael a yes or no question.
Send me the password.
So here's the things that I've guessed about. I've said, does it have something to do with my dogs, with Venice, with Juan, with Jacob Imrani, with the show, with the station, with Halloween, with the NFL? None of those got yes answers.
Dog. You get it?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So
now 2 people know it. If I die, Bergman has it.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
good. Thank God.
Exactly.
All right, so my question today.
Do you remember him saying that, by the way, on Monday and Tuesday?
Yes. I
Okay.
do.
Does it have something to do with donuts?
No.
I love the pause.
The pause kills
Michael, you want to take a crack?
Well, the
Yes or no
password has
question?
to have something to do with Steve and his life and what he's gone through or experienced and blah, blah, blah. So I am going to guess that the password is Toledo.
No, it's not a.
Because that's where he's from.
No.
It's supposed to be a yes or no question, Michael.
Or a guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guess
or
the
guess.
password
Guess.
has to do with Toledo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to cross Toledo and donuts off the list. Now, you said you're going to give a hint on Fridays?
Yeah. Okay. So. Well, I already gave you the hint that you said it on Monday and Tuesday.
That was
All right.
a good hint, but I haven't gone back and listened.
In the years we've been working together, you have said it at least 10 times every year. Ever since 1995, whenever we're at least 10 times every year, you've said this word. It's one word. There's 2 hints.
It's only one word.
It's one word. So there's your hint. Think about it, and you can guess again on Monday.
All right.
That's a really good hint.
One word. All lowercase, right? You didn't do like exclamation point and
There
like
is no
uppercase.
punctuation in
Okay.
it. No.
Got it. One word. Jorge.
I'm not the only one with the button, Steve. Stare down.
So, in other words, is Bergman the one
I'm
that's
not saying
playing
anything.
the
I'm just saying,
fire
I'm not
alarm
the
sound?
only
Maybe,
one.
or maybe we have a smoke alarm that needs a new battery around
maybe
here.
we
Steve, I got a
do.
quiz
Maybe
for
we
you.
do. Yes.
What is the one animal that never competes fairly?
One animal that never competes fairly. Is this a punny joke?
Cheetah.
A cheetah.
Go, Bergman. That was a good one, Michael.
Very good.
By the way, Bergman's game coming up,
Yeah.
and Michael is going to play.
Yes.
We will do that coming up, and
Can't be any
Can I
worse
give
than
you a
Pepe.
hint?
yeah, yeah.
give
You
you-
want to give me a hint on the
Well,
password?
No, yeah, no, no, not on the password.
Oh,
no,
hint
on the
me-
game.
hint me on what?
Dave Denholm actually ruined a question.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's black and gold.
It's an LAFC themed
Excellent
thing, I would think.
Also coming up for you, are we still offended? We'll do a couple of things. Are we still offended by the middle finger? We're trying to clear everything out today. How Marissa Tomei got onto Seinfeld, and
Remember, she liked bald guys. She liked George.
Yeah.
and somebody is going to be playing John Daly in a movie. I want to know if you're in on it. So those things are coming up next as we get toward Game of Games.
Too bad he's dead.
In
Chris Farley.
In the meantime, stream live sports and original content with ESPN Plus today. You get access to the award-winning 30 for 30 library, unrivaled UFC access, including exclusive pay-per-views, live coverage of 35 PGA Tour events every year. Get the ESPN Plus Disney Plus bundle today. Watch ESPN Originals.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app?
LAFC, yo.
You guys are on the air right now, so you guys are all sitting there talking to Michael Thompson, Mason in Ireland, not even understanding that we're live on the air right now. So Jorge, apparently this is going to be the Jorge and Greg show from now on. They really have no clue that right now we're not on. Hey guys, if you look in the other room over here, you can see that we're on the air right now.
You know what's happening right now?
Michael Thompson.
No, Mason just did Jorge's trick to Michael. How's he doing so far, Michael?
I don't want to say. I'm all right so far.
3 for 3, 4 for 4.
And the last one.
Wow.
He got all 4?
Wait a minute. How'd you do that?
Wow.
He's a mentalist.
Wow. I'm a mentalist.
Okay, now explain
this is
that.
a supercomputer, Michael, right here on my shoulders.
No way.
Yes.
How did you do that?
Did I not just...
He read your mind.
I read your mind.
Michael, look at him. He looks like you looked yesterday when Jorge did it to you.
So he told me to think of a color. I said fuchsia because I figured I'd throw him.
Right.
Now, what Mason did was we told Michael to think of a color. Mason, without Michael saying a word, Mason would write down the color, crumble it up, throws it at Michael, and then Michael would say it.
Yep.
And you got a man's name, a woman's name, and a number, and you got all 4.
Exactly.
How?
Oh, Michael.
Bravo.
Just right
No
here,
way.
man. Right here. People think I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. By the way, people do think I'm dumb.
Yeah, I think that.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, Michael, smarter than you. All right, brand new movie. We're on Leftovers.
It's Friday
today, and we got Game of Games coming up for you in a minute. Brand new movie about John Daly, the golfer, who is like a folk hero, right? They're making a brand new movie, and they have decided to cast Jonah Hill.
Perfect.
As John Daly.
He's perfect.
He's pretty good as John Daly.
He's going to have to gain all that weight back, though, that he had before.
Yeah.
You can put on the fat suit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's a really good casting
But
choice.
Daly wasn't fat when he came on the...
Daly was big.
He wasn't fat when he first burst on the
Well,
scene.
he's got to smoke and drink a lot of Diet Coke.
Yeah.
That's the 2 things John Daly does.
Okay, so here.
And Michael, a man after your own heart, he wears a lot of Zubaz pants.
Yeah, man. He's fun. He was good for the tour.
So Marissa Tomei had a memorable 2-episode run on Seinfeld. Jen, you know.
So George Costanza ran into her at like the zoo or the park or something, and she said, "This is going to sound strange, but I'm really into overweight bald guys." And he dated her for a couple of episodes, and then, like he always did, he screwed it up.
So I want to tell this. First of all, the way she got cast, she just did an interview for some other thing, and they asked her about Seinfeld, and she said the reason she got the job is because Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld both liked the rhythm of her name, Marissa Tomei. Marissa Tomei. And they said that over and over again when she was on the set. Now, I wanted to bring up this story. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but there's a famous urban legend that Marissa Tomei didn't actually win an Academy Award. Have I told you this?
Well, she did. Officially, she won for My Cousin Vinny.
Correct.
But what's the story?
Okay, so the story is she won the Academy Award for My Cousin Vinny, which honestly was a great performance. It's a great movie, all that stuff. When Jack Palance opened the envelope...
He was the presenter.
He read a name. He read Marissa Tomei. In the envelope, actually, it said Vanessa Redgrave.
Okay.
So the urban legend is Marissa Tomei didn't really win the Academy Award. It was supposed to go to Vanessa Redgrave. And they went to Vanessa Redgrave after the show and said, you really won. And she said, oh, let's leave it alone. I've already got one of those.
Good for her.
Yeah.
By the way, that's what I would do.
Really?
You would not do it. You would want it too much.
I'd want my
That's what happened with one of the movies, right? They read the wrong one for La La Land.
Yeah, Moonlight and La La Land.
Yeah.
They did screw that up.
Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway.
Oh.
And Jimmy Kimmel was hosting that year, and he goes, "Warren, what did you do?"
Yeah, what a train wreck that was.
Steve Harvey, remember, read the wrong
Still a
Beauty
Great
Queen
Night.
one. Yeah.
Still a Great Night. That was probably the worst one of all time.
Oh, yeah, right.
Where he called out the wrong
Beauty
country.
Queen. Yeah.
All right, and the last thing, what was the third thing? Punchable faces. All right, whatever it was.
So wait a minute. So does Marissa Tomei want to keep the Oscar if she knew that was a mistake?
I would.
Well, first of all, there's no proof that this happened.
Oh, okay.
And it
But
is
wouldn't
an
it bug her?
urban legend.
Wouldn't she want to know?
I'm sure she would. But do you remember anybody else?
Hey, Michael, you got to tape Backstage Lakers tonight. It's all about your Hawaii reunion trip.
That was nice.
Do you remember anybody else who was? That is such a great performance. And my cousin Vinny, she's at my biological clock.
Do you remember who played the judge, Michael?
Herman Munster.
Yep,
Yeah,
Fred
right.
Gwynn.
Yeah, he was-
a ute?
What's a
What
ute?
is a ute?
That was a great
Awesome,
line.
awesome. All right, there was one more thing, but screw it. It's F it Friday.
Well, yeah.
heckling. So there's a.
We can go to the Game of Games if you want.
Yeah, we'll do this last story. Legendary fan heckles Rob Manfred at the World Series. I don't believe in heckling people. I understand.
Ben Lyons does.
I know he does.
Yeah.
I understand heckling a team, like when the Astros are in town, boo. Went to an Astros game. We all booed.
What's if it's in good taste, if it's funny? Like when they used to heckle players, Robin Ficker behind the Washington Wizards bench. Used to get on visiting players. It was funny as heck. We'd be cracking up on the bench.
This is what the...
I got a good Robin Ficker story.
Oh,
Go ahead.
good. No, do the Robin Ficker story.
So, as you guys know, I love James Worthy.
Yeah.
And Worthy was in a famous, embarrassing incident in Houston in his career. I'll let you guys look it up. But it was... He got arrested for something, and the next game you guys played was in D.C., and everybody said, oh, no. Robin Ficker, the heckler.
Right behind our bench.
Right behind the Laker bench. And so Worthy's just like, oh, God, what's he going to say? This is going to be awful. Oh, I can't believe I got to play this game in Washington. So Worthy's sitting there. And the whole game, Robin Ficker leaves him alone. He does his all usual stuff, never mentions Worthy, So Worthy's at the free throw line. Lakers are up like 20.
Yeah.
And Ficker stands up behind the bench and goes, James Worthy! And it's like a half-empty arena. And Worthy's looking down, dribbling the ball, like waiting to shoot. And the whole bench got like towels over their heads. She goes, telephone. And that was it. That's all he said. Yeah, like your wife's on the phone.
Oh, he was hilarious.
That was it. But yeah,
Robin Ficker, is he still there
like,
and
if
still
if
heckling?
you and I were,
No, they took his tickets away because people complained about him.
Yeah.
Teams complained about him.
Yeah,
But he
like,
never cursed.
Gary Vitti hated him.
Yeah, he never cursed.
Yeah, like Gary said, he wanted to go back there and punch the guy.
It was hilarious. It was so funny.
He would be like, Michael Thompson,
man.
you can't play in
Yeah.
this league. You can't even spell your name.
Exactly. Oh, he'd be getting on you. Just hope he doesn't pick on you.
Okay, let's do one last thing. So, Justin Verlander flipped off the crowd in Philadelphia.
Okay, so there's a story behind this.
Yes.
So he gets off the bus.
Mm-hmm.
The Astros bus arrives at the ballpark and says, hey, Justin, how about a hello? And Verlander waves, and they take a picture, and some guy goes, how about a Philly hello?
Oh,
And Verlander goes, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And just flips them off. And so now all these pictures of Verlander flipping out the Philly fans. And then the fans go, hey, can we come over there and be in the picture with you? And so there's a picture with Verlander and two Philly fans flipping off a camera. And now everybody's saying, well, Verlander made a bad decision. I don't think he did.
Come on.
I think
fun.
Exactly.
It's funny.
I thought he was in the spirit.
Yeah.
I think
Philadelphia.
Verlander comes off great in that story, don't you?
I do too, and
it's
I'm
funny.
not super offended by
somebody
the
flipped you
middle
off
finger.
like on the highway. Somebody does it to you.
Dude, I've done it.
Really?
Yeah, haven't you flipped somebody off on the highway?
Amanda
On
did
the
it to
freeway?
me last Tuesday
Yeah,
through that
she
window.
did. The double birds. The double birds.
I mean, who cares?
Okay, one last thing. Oh, yeah, you playing this fire alarm. One last thing I want to get in. John, Michael, everybody. Only 55 days till Christmas. Only 55 days until
you're
Christmas.
getting into Christmas way too early.
When are you going to start your shopping?
I'm starting decorating this weekend.
He's this week, Michael. I say day after Thanksgiving. Black Friday is when you can break out the Christmas decorations. Mason's doing it now. I think he's way too early.
I hate Halloween.
Settle that dispute.
I want a long Christmas period.
Do you and Jesus exchange expensive gifts?
We do not. We have a rule: no gifts.
Really?
Yeah, no gifts. It's too much pressure.
We have a rule. I buy Lisa gifts, and she doesn't buy them.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So do you have the deal where Lisa goes and picks stuff out and then wraps it and pretends it's from you? That's what my mom and dad always did.
No, but that's good.
Jorge, you and Brenda still shop for each other for Christmas?
Yeah, we still do.
It's too much pressure.
I know, but like, what are you going to get her this year, Jorge? You haven't already got
say she's listening, Michael.
She's listening?
Yeah.
She's listening.
Yeah, no. Now, we do get birthday gifts, and Juan's birthday's coming up. I've got no friggin' clue. No
What
idea.
about cash? You wouldn't want cash?
We're together. We have cash.
Oh. You always get a little extra.
Where am I getting that from? He's got everything I've got.
Well, what you should do is buy something that will allow you to break a window and go take that smoke alarm down.
Go get a hammer.
All right, Game of Games is coming up next for you. It is Bergman's game. MT is going to play. Don't forget, big weekend. We got Lakers tonight versus Utah. You'll hear the game right here on 710 ESPN. Tomorrow, at 1 o'clock, is the start of LAFC versus Philadelphia Union for the MLS Championship. USC and UCLA both playing tomorrow night. We've got Rams coming for you on Sunday afternoon, 1:25. It is Rams at Tampa, and another Lakers game on Sunday facing a really good Cleveland team. And we'll have that game for you here somewhere as Michael Thompson and John Ireland have the call. So big weekend. Game of Games.
especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but calljacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle. Call Jacob. Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
Very very special game of games because
it's Friday.
That's right. Anything goes here, and it is Bergman's game. Oh, Jorge. So we got Jorge, we've got Michael Thompson, we've got Ireland and me all playing. So far, the score in the month of November, go figure. Ireland 2, Bergman 1. Ireland off to another lead.
All right. Greg, what do we got?
All right, so this is LAFC trivia in honor of LAFC playing for the MLS Cup tomorrow.
I like Briones' chances today.
No, I mean, this is just about the actual franchise. So I don't think he has a more of a chance than anybody else.
Okay.
And it is multiple choice.
Okay.
All right, so number one, and John, you got the scoring?
Yep.
Perfect. Number one, LAFC was awarded their franchise in what year? Was it A, 2014, B, 2015, or C, 2016, John?
I am going to say 2016.
Mason.
Awarded the
franchise.
I'll say 2014.
Michael.
16.
And Jorge.
15.
It's 2014.
Yeah. Mason's on the board.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while to build the stadium.
That was our
They got
friend
the franchise
Tom
first.
Penn who was in charge of that back then.
Sir. All right, it was October 10th, actually. Number two, the Golden Boot is awarded to the MLS player with the most goals scored. LAFC became the first team to win 2 consecutive Golden Boots when they did it in 2019 and 2020. Who won those Golden Boots? Mason, is it A, Carlos Vela and Mark Anthony Kaye, B, Carlos Vela and Jordan Harvey, or C, Carlos Vela and Diego Rossi?
I'm going to say Carlos Vela and Diego Rossi.
Okay, Michael.
C.
Jorge?
Vela and Rossi.
And Ireland.
I'm with the crowd.
It is Vela and Rossi. You all got a point for that. Okay, number 3. What does the wing on the crest of the LAFC logo stand for? Is it A, power, strength, and speed, B, speed, agility, and endurance, C, agility, power, and stamina? Michael?
A.
Jorge?
Power, strength, and speed. A.
John?
Power, strength, and speed.
And Mace.
I'm with the crowd.
With
Power,
the crowd,
strength, and
you are
speed.
all correct. It is power, strength, and speed.
Nobody would put agility in there.
Yeah.
Why?
All right, so
agility is a soccer.
Mason has 3 and everybody else has 2.
Agility. You need agility to play soccer, Mace.
That's exactly right. All right, number 4.
See, Mace doesn't think they're athletes.
Where does this come from?
All right, number 4. LAFC had 4 All-Stars this year. Which one of these names was not an All-Star? Is it A, Diego Rossi, B, Kellen Acosta, or C, Walker Zimmerman? Mason.
Walker Zimmerman.
Michael.
Rossi.
Jorge.
Rossi.
And John.
Rossi.
The answer is Kellen Acosta. None of
none of us
we all
got
missed
it.
it. I thought that's
Rossi
why
this
he
year.
would have been at the podium.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't pick him.
No, Diego Rossi, Walker Zimmerman, Mark Anthony Kaye, and Carlos Vela were all All-Stars this year.
Okay.
Number 5, LAFC played their first official game in 2018. Who scored their very first goal? Is it A, Diego Rossi, B, Carlos Vela, or C, Latif Blessing? And I think I start with Michael on this one.
Blessing.
Okay, Jorge.
Wait, who scored their first
The
goal?
very first goal in franchise history.
And it was Vela.
It was Rossi, Vela, or Blessing.
I'll say Blessing. But I don't think you got the right one, though.
All right.
What do you mean I don't think I got
Well,
it?
hold on. Let's keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
All right. Ireland.
I think it was Rossi.
And Mason.
I think it was Blessing.
It was Diego Rossi. Is the right answer.
Ireland takes
Yeah.
What was the problem?
I think it's a
Jorge?
different player who scored the first goal.
No, I looked it up 3 ways to Sunday.
All right. So right now the score is
Sunday.
Mason
I
3,
went 3 ways.
Ireland 3, Michael and Jorge 2 each. Greg, how many are there?
There's 7. There's
All right,
7
how many are
total.
left?
There's 2 left.
Okay.
Just complaining.
Ooh, you're complaining? That's -1 for Jorge. He called himself out. He called himself out.
I'm throwing the flag. I'm throwing the flag.
All right. -1. Jorge's down to 1. Here we go.
Number 6. What team did Rossi score against in the first game for LAFC? Was it A, DC United, B, LA Galaxy, or C, Seattle Sounders? Jorge.
Seattle Sounders.
John.
Sounds right. Seattle Sounders.
Mason.
Sounders.
And Michael.
Galaxy.
It was the Seattle Sounders.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So we have 1 left. What's the score?
1 left.
Mike, it's down. Michael and Jorge are out. It's between me and Mason.
Okay.
What's the score?
4-4.
4-4.
4-4. All right.
I
So
need a win so bad.
number 7. El Tráfico is the match between LAFC and the LA Galaxy. What is the overall record for the 2 teams? Is it A, Galaxy 7, LFC 5 with 5 draws, B, LAFC 8, Galaxy 4 with 5 draws? Or is it C, Galaxy 10, LFC 2 with 5 draws?
I am going to go Galaxy 8.
What letter is that?
Galaxy. Well, that wasn't even one of them.
Wasn't it Galaxy
Just go A,
8
B, or
with 5?
C.
A, B, say, Galaxy 7, LAFC 8, or Galaxy 10. Do it that way.
Galaxy 7.
Is that A? I think it's A. Would you have a tiebreaker?
I do.
All right, I'll do A.
It is A.
Okay,
Galaxy
so we
S7,
both got it
LFC 5
right.
with 5
And
draws.
what's the tiebreaker?
All right, so the tiebreaker is a little tough because it was going to be name as your buzzer, but Dave
Sounds
Denholm
like
ruined
bad
it.
planning on your part.
So
Okay.
I have another one that's not as good.
Okay.
So this is a name as your buzzer?
No, this one is not. It's going to be closest without going over.
Okay.
How much did it cost to build Bank of California Stadium? John?
How much did it cost to build Bank of California Stadium? I'm going to say $22 million.
Mason?
$22,000,001.
The correct answer, $350 million.
Whoa!
Yeah. So Mason gets the win for
Yes,
that
I got a win for a change.
I was thinking like $100 million, and I went, no, go low. And then
It's always a
I never would have said
disadvantage to go first.
$300 million.
No, $300
Yeah.
million is a lot. I was surprised.
That would have been
I was surprised.
ridiculous.
It's a beautiful stadium, though.
The one that Dave Denholm ruined was it was going to say the name is your buzzer, the crazy group of fans that are at every game
Oh,
stand the whole.
we would have got that.
Well, no, it's why are they
3,252
called that? Yeah, that was
I actually knew that.
Well, that's why it was name of your buzzer. That's why.
Yeah, I actually knew that one.
Okay.
So that was where he ruined.
That was
All right.
good, though. I think
Not
you did
bad.
good. Black and Gold Friday.
Let's go
Tomorrow's the
LAFC.
big game. Let's go LAFC. Michael, I have said, just pivoting here to the Rams, I've said that Sunday, they're 3-4, that it is a must-win situation. Because if they are 3-4, or if they go 3-5, they've got to go 6-3 the rest of the way, which I don't think is possible. I think they've got to win on Sunday. 5-4 is doable to get to 9 wins. What do you think? Is Sunday a must-win?
Who they playing?
Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, and the struggling Buccaneers.
Yeah, they gotta win that game because Tampa's struggling, and you're right. You don't want to fall to 3-5.
3-5 is a tough.
Yeah,
I
it's a
wonder
tough
what
hole.
the history is for teams that come out of the box 3-5. I can't imagine a whole bunch of them make the playoffs. Do they?
But if you can go 9-8 these days, you get a wild card.
9-8. That's what I'm aiming for. 9-8.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the NFC East is going to have 3 teams in the playoffs. And I think there's one wild card loose, so it'll be the 4 division winners, the 2 wild card teams coming from the NFC East, Giants and Cowboys, and then 1 loose wild card, which hopefully the Rams can grab at 9-8. That's their way in.
All right. Let's hit the super stage.
Yeah.
ESPN AM 710.
Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
All right, this will tell you everything you need to know about Steve Mason. He opened up the YouTube feed, realized that Sedano and Cap looked better on camera than he did, walked across the room, and moved his
the
iPad right in front of his face.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
Because you guys look really. Have you guys been hearing this story that the house next to me, nobody's there, and that they haven't changed the batteries in the smoke alarm, so it's just beeping every 5
Oh my God,
minutes?
that's happening in my house today. I couldn't find which one it was though. I
hate that.
I know, but George, you know what I always do? I change all of them because I get so
guess that's true.
frustrated.
It's probably easier, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 5 of them, and I just change them all. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that might be what I do because I don't know which one it is. I can't. It's annoying.
And buy those lithium batteries that supposedly last for 10 years, and then in 2 years you'll have the same problem again.
Right.
Is it possible, though, that sometimes you have the kinds of smoke alarms that they're not battery operated, like they only last for a finite amount of time, and then you just break them to shut them off?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've
done
broken
that.
smoke alarms to just get rid of them. Sure,
Because-
because I can't figure out how the battery change is working.
Right, and so then here's what happens, and Mace, maybe you'll appreciate this based on our conversation yesterday about not getting our cars fixed.
Yes.
When I take a smoke alarm off and I shut it up, I oftentimes forget to replace it.
I'm guilty of that right now, Cap. There was one making noise. I unplugged it and then put it back in unplugged.
God.
So I have a smoke alarm that looks like it's active, but it's actually dead.
We have been throughout the show today behaving as though there is a smoke alarm that needs a battery in our studio. So we're getting that steady squeaking sound. I talked to Cappy on the phone today. I can't remember the last time I talked to somebody on the phone that wasn't my mom.
Yeah,
I talked to my mom on the phone. I don't talk to anybody else on the phone.
landline?
No, on my cell phone. I'm a text guy. Cappy, you're a text guy.
Although, Mace, I feel like we spoke like a few months ago or something, probably.
You think we talked? Oh, yeah, no, we had an inside business kind of, here's what's
well,
going
and
on
when I got
here.
COVID, I called you.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Ireland
I called
did not.
you, John, and Michael.
Ireland did not call me when I had COVID.
Yeah, well, you didn't call me when I had COVID. And I had it first.
I think I sent a concerned text message.
You did not.
Oh, I bet you if we go back, I
Go
sent
ahead.
a concern.
Look.
I hope you're feeling better.
You did not.
Oh, that's bull.
Go ahead. Look it up.
No, I absolutely did.
Look it
You
up.
sent me nothing. I sent you I hope you're feeling better text.
No, matter of fact, you didn't say anything about it until like 2 weeks after I'd been back on the show, and you said, I didn't even know you had COVID.
I didn't even know you were gone.
Yeah. Mason is gone because I got it over the holidays, and
Wait,
Mason basically takes all of December off.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know I had COVID.
How did you not? Oh, well, were you not listening at all to the station? Like he wasn't on games.
Yeah.
I knew he had COVID. That's why I sent him a concerned text message.
Prove it.
And if I can find it, I'm going
Okay,
to read
hey,
it.
how much mythical money you got left?
$2,000.
All right, $2,000.
That's it?
$2,000. You never sent me a text about COVID.
Okay, done.
All right.
This wipes me out.
Yeah.
No, it could save you.
Yeah, you're right. It could save me. I could win money here. I know I did.
Mace, I like how you and I are both wearing the LAFC scarf today.
Yeah, rocking it, man. Black and Gold Friday.
So you found a ticket, huh?
I did.
Tell me.
Our great Sam Pines, who's the, I don't know, what do we call
Market
him?
manager?
The market manager, Sam Pines from Good Karma Brands. I got a text message this morning saying, I got you in, so I will be there tomorrow. But that means no USC game tomorrow night. I can't. I was almost trying to pull the double. I thought, okay, I'll go to the LAFC game, but then I've got 4 friggin' hours to wait.
Tailgate. You're not going to tailgate? What, you don't want to be around people? Like, what's wrong?
It's not around people. That has nothing to do with it. It has to do with just sitting
a long
around
time.
for
It's a long
4
time, 4
hours.
hours.
It's
Okay,
a long
I'll
time
let
to
you.
kill.
I'll let you guys decide if this constitutes as a text of concern. Here was the exchange.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, I got it right before New Year's Eve. Mason sends me a text. Are you in the protocol? Yes, since Wednesday. Jack and Lisa both positive too. Do you have any symptoms? Bad sore throat early. It's a little better now. Lots of fatigue. I've had 5 consecutive positive tests, so I may be in the protocol for a while. Michael had 9, Trudell and Vogel 10. You can't come out until you get 2 negative days in a row or quarantine for 11 days. I can still do the show this week from home. Glad you're feeling a little better. Is that reaching out with concern?
Yeah, if he added "glad you're feeling better" at the end,
He
then
showed
yes.
a heart.
Yes.
Yeah, but the first 2 texts were, are you in the protocol?
'Cause I didn't know.
And
Nobody
do
told-
you have any symptoms?
Nobody told me.
Mason
No,
gets
that
the
one's
money
important.
here.
Okay.
Mason
That
wins.
one's
There you go.
important.
Now you're up to
Symptoms.
4.
Yeah.
Symptoms is important here because
Yeah.
when someone asks, how are the symptoms or what are the symptoms, they're not really asking to ask if you're doing okay. They're asking, and by the way, Mace, I only know this because this is how I would ask it.
Right.
Tell me what the symptoms are so I might know if and when I have to deal with this myself.
No, I wasn't thinking that because a lot of
Nope.
people were getting COVID and not having any symptoms, and that's what I was hoping for John. You had light symptoms, or did you?
Yeah, both Michael and I were sick. Michael, you were sick for a couple of days, right?
Yeah, but I felt bad for 2 days.
But
I felt
said,
bad for Michael because he was stuck in a hotel room in Minnesota.
And I said,
At least I got to quarantine
glad
here.
you're
I
feeling
remember
better.
this is a long time
Glad
ago,
you're feeling
yeah.
better. That is
All right,
a
then you get 'em.
heartfelt message. Heartfelt.
Very nice. Very sweet.
Yeah, it's what it's all about.
The glad part. Like, I'm glad that you're
Glad.
feeling. That's very nice.
Yeah, but so we play Mythical Money, and we start with 100.
Where is that thing? I can't find it. Where is it? Gosh darn it.
Did you guys hear Mason's predicament about this? Should he break into the other house and go?
Yeah, no, Sedano, I said I would. He says there's absolutely no one there. It's been going on for a month. They're obviously away on a trip or on vacation. I would just sneak into the house and turn the thing off.
There's got to be an open window somewhere.
Do you know these people, Mace?
I know one lady's name is Tanya.
You're not like friends with these people.
I'm not. They're.
I mean, because in other words, like if you do what John Ireland suggests, which John, I hear where you're going, but if you do that, if you're friends with them, they would be like, oh no, he's just our friend. He was just getting in because there was smoke alarm. It's all good, officer.
Yeah,
We're not
you'll get arrested.
Mate,
We're not, I don't want to be an E.
Mace,
I mean,
do you have an HOA?
No. I live in a regular house.
Okay. Well, I live in a regular house. I have an HOA.
But you live in a community. I don't live in one of those formal communities. Ireland has
like the Stepford Wives.
Yeah, exactly. Like Pleasantville, like Mayberry. No, so what Ireland wants me to do is take a towel, wrap it around my fist. Then you go up to the door and you bust the window right next to the door. And you reach in and you unlock it and then you go in. That's what Ireland wants, and that is a classic B&E. That's like you're going to jail.
I would actually use your elbow with a sweatshirt, like one of those hoodies you wear. I would smash it in with my elbow, then go in and open the door.
And then replace the window.
Oh, and then replace the... Come on.
How crazy is it driving you?
It's every 5 minutes.
Right. So,
for a month.
So if it costs you $100 to fix the window, is it worth $100?
It's still breaking and entering.
I know, but they'll never know.
You don't have any way of communicating to these folks?
I don't know
No,
them.
man. Mason, with your luck, they'll have some sort of camera or something.
Right. The Ring doorbell will catch me breaking the window.
No, don't do it, man.
I'm not doing it.
Well,
but
that's
annoying.
The Ring doorbell has caught many a person. The Ring doorbell had, when Ime Udoka got in trouble, he got caught on a Ring doorbell.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I mean, people forget about Ring doorbells. You can... Yeah,
you steal my package.
It's a record of who comes in. And Michael, do you have a Ring doorbell? Yeah. We have one too. It's a record of who comes in and out of your house.
Do you monitor it when you're not at home?
Yeah, it sends me
an alert
and shows me what's going on outside my house.
Yep.
But wait, I have a question. To get a Ring doorbell, is that something that I can physically purchase and then install on my own?
No, you want to hire an electrician to install it.
Oy vey.
I mean, you probably could because you're probably better than I am at that kind of thing. But
no,
I wanted somebody to do it right. If I do it, I'd screw it up, and then I'd have to call the electrician to undo what I did.
Yeah.
Wait, Michael, did you install your own, Michael?
Are you kidding me? I can barely open a door.
Right. Okay. All right. Same deal.
Mechanical at all.
I'll install it for you. Just pay for the gas.
What's good? Juan is very good at this kind of stuff, so he installed ours. We didn't have to hire somebody.
So, Michael, you're jealous that we're going to have Chris Jericho on, your
Yeah.
guy?
Oh, man, Chris Jericho.
Michael,
he's the best.
our game doesn't start for a while. Why don't you hang out with him and be part of the Chris Jericho
I
interview?
gotta go over
can,
there.
if you
I gotta
like.
go over there and steal some cushions so I can have enough cushions to sit on.
You notice that they're disappearing now.
I know.
Oh, let me tell you something. You want to talk about cushions?
Yeah.
I know you guys have the extra padding that you can put on your seats at Staples Center. So I've done
Crypto.com arena.
Oh, right, yeah. So I've now done a couple of games in Phoenix this year. They have chairs that the extra padding is already built in for everybody at the scorers table. So when I sat down, I looked at Eddie Johnson, who's obviously former Sun and
he's one of their TV guys,
broadcaster, right? I said these are the most comfortable seats in the entire league.
This will tell you the difference between how the Lakers treat radio versus TV. If you come to the game tonight, Michael and I will be in folding chairs and whichever stolen cushions we can procure.
Right.
Go up, George, next time you're at a game, go look at Billy Mack and Stu's chairs.
What do they have? I've never noticed.
Thrones.
Like $1,000 office chairs with with the Laker logo on the back of them. They swivel, they rotate, they go up and down.
You guys should strike for better chairs.
I think we should.
If we did, Sedano and Cap on the game tonight.
I can't believe Pepe the Dictator doesn't have one of those chairs.
Does Pepe not have a fancy chair?
No, he doesn't.
Just Stu and Billy.
You know what Pepe got?
That really is kind of strange. Why do the TV guys? Where the hell is that thing? Gosh,
I gotta get that.
Gotta find this thing. I can't. I'm standing in the wrong room. I thought it was in this room. It must be in the next room. Why do the TV guys need more comfortable chairs?
I don't know. Yeah, Michael. Should we just, as an experiment, take
go
their
do them.
chairs
Yes.
tonight
Switch?
and not tell them?
Yeah, see if
that would be fantastic.
See if they'll notice.
Switcheroo.
Let's do it. Billy wouldn't matter, but Stu would not be happy.
Stu would take us take the chair back with us in it.
Exactly. And have the red shirts escort us out of the building.
Yeah, Robin, our security guy, would throw Michael and I out.
That's right.
Do you think there are any of those chairs? Are there any in like the conference room in the offices?
I think that's where they got them.
Sure.
So why don't you go grab a couple?
Yeah.
Because we don't have, like, the same thing would be a breaking and entering.
Yeah.
We're not allowed in those
Be a
rooms.
B&E? Yeah, you have a B&E there.
If Michael Funches, the producer, I'm sure the producer of the TV games is the one who procured those chairs. Funches should get on it.
You chairs.
Exactly.
Yes.
Produce 2 chairs.
Why is radio always? Why do the TV guys have good chairs? The radio guys have bad chairs. Radio is. I mean, Sedano, you can back me up on this. You do a lot of TV. Ireland, you've done a lot of TV. I did weekend sports for a while. I think radio is much cooler than TV.
Well, here's the other thing, and Michael and I do every game.
Yeah,
those guys.
And here's what I would add: radio is also more challenging to do.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, George, you're doing both. You're in both broadcasts, so you've got a good perspective on that.
I always liked radio
way
better, man.
So, Nana, let me ask you the question I asked Mason and Bergman and Michael earlier. You're the Lakers. If you could get Kyrie for free, in other words, if it blows up in Brooklyn,
He's waived.
He can go to any team for a veterans minimum. Do you do it?
How bad do you want to win? Is my question.
I think that's the right question to ask.
Do you think he's damaged his reputation so much that he's untouchable now?
You think he can help you win?
I do think he can help you win.
Well,
I think he's better than the
Still-
15th man on your roster.
But Greg Bergman and Steve
Mason
says
say
no way.
wouldn't take him under any condition.
Now, do you think most people feel that way?
I think right now, probably the majority of people feel that way. But I think as time goes by,
He's apologized.
He has apologized.
Somebody wrote a very good apology for him.
Come on,
Apologized.
Let's say he's apologized. But
Crisis management team wrote an apology.
He
for
didn't
Kyrie.
apologize.
It may need time. In other words, Michael Vick was in the, no pun intended,
Well,
was in the doghouse for a long time.
And Michael Vick, right? He served his time and came back.
Right, when he came back and went to the Eagles, he was a huge hit.
Yeah, but you can't compare dogfighting to the Holocaust.
No, you can't.
No, but
he also did the work. He actually went and did the work.
What I'm saying,
to say,
Michael, is
hey,
he
I wanna fix
rebuilt
this.
his
Exactly.
image.
Well, he also went to jail.
Couldn't
there's
Kyrie
part of
do
the
that?
equation.
But okay, so we got to be careful not to equate things,
No,
right?
No, of course
Equating
not.
things is not right. But Michael Vick came out of prison and immediately went to work with the Humane Society and the ASPCA, and they went to inner city neighborhoods all across the South and talked about why dogfighting is wrong and why it's got to stop and all that stuff. He actually came out and did something. Now,
Kyrie made a donation.
Kyrie made a donation,
that
and
they wouldn't accept.
The Anti-Defamation League said, "No thanks, you haven't really apologized yet."
So
now
I
he's
can give you,
apologized.
it's not apples to apples, but I remember, and you guys may remember this. Tim Hardaway, who's now a Hall of Famer,
Right, was in
many years ago,
trouble for a long time.
He was a veteran guest at an All-Star game in Denver, if I recall correctly, and I know because I was at the station that was interviewing him, and he was saying the things he said, the disparaging remarks he made about LGBTQ the community.
Yes,
and the host was like, Tim, you don't mean that. Don't say, like, literally try. And he kept doubling, tripling down because he to your point, didn't, that's the way he felt at the time. But to your point, Mace, he did the work for many years later. Even to this day, he still, he became very familiar with
almost
the
an
LGBTQ
advocate
community.
for them.
And now he is an advocate, right,
Yeah.
for the LGBTQ. Many years, I mean, this is talking about over a decade ago, okay? Like, so, to your point, I do think that I don't think that it may be too early on Kyrie, but if Kyrie shows remorse, I think that I think he can still have a lengthy career.
I think it's directly related to how good you are. And here's my example. When Ray Rice got caught on that security camera punching his wife in the face, he never played another down of NFL football. He was out of the league. But Ray Rice was a running backside of his career.
Mm-hmm.
When Joe Mixon, who I think was still at Oklahoma, punched a girl in a like a Denny's, and it got caught on a security camera, he is now the leading rusher for the Bengals because he had his whole career in front of him. Kyrie's right on the edge.